themselves with a cookie challenge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty great. Hi, hello.
Oh, yeah, we definitely should have stopped there. We'll have to remember that, because I'm sure it won't be the last time we go through there.
All right, so you guys ready to see this really amazing shelf cloud that I thought was going to come through here? All right, let me turn to the camera to the west here. We got a really nice looking shelf cloud.
I'm really...
There it is. Wow, look at that.
This way. I should have added 2 or 3 hours to my drive and went to, like, Wichita.
Wow, look at that, guys.
Like, Wichita to Tulsa and Muskogee. Because this construction, I swore I was never going to come back through here until this was done. And I did it. And it sucks.
What time does it have you getting home?
5 o'clock.
I got 2:02, which seems late, but it is also almost 11 o'clock.
Channel 1.
Yeah, it says I've still got 6.5 hours of driving left. 399 miles.
Gross. So we've got, here's the here's the deal, guys. So when I went or scheduled the live stream, there was like 5 severe thunderstorm warnings.
Which honestly, it'll take me 2 hours to get home once I get off the interstate. So that's part of it, is because it's a 2-lane country road.
Yeah, that's true. That time I freaking left and went to get out of there. God, I don't even remember when that was. But I remember when I left your house and like went north or wherever the hell I went. I was like, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't want to have to do this at 2 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna go a little bit north.
Yeah. Yep. That's a rough haul. Once you get off of which it'll put me down like Paducah, and then I'll go through Mayfield.
At the light, turn right onto South Center Street. Then you'll turn left onto the US 30 East ramp.
This is Marshalltown, by the way, and when I scheduled this live stream like an hour and a half ago, there was like 5 severe thunderstorm warnings on this line, and it looked really good. And I was like, oh, hey, let's go do a stream for like an hour or 2 on Sunday morning, because I haven't streamed on a Sunday morning for probably since last summer, or maybe a winter storm at some point. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And then I get out to the car and I'm like, I open Radar Omega and I'm like, oh, that can't be right. Oh, that is right. I'm like, well, where's the storm at? So if you look at Radar Omega, there is a line of strong rain showers. I know, isn't that fucking amazing? Coming toward us from between Marshalltown and I-35. And I'm hoping we can get a little bit of like a shelf cloud or something to justify my actions here. Would be cool. So we're going to give it a shot. There is a slight risk for severe weather. This is that crap that came out of South Dakota last night, believe it or not. And it's heading east, and there is a chance that they could put a severe thunderstorm watch on this, apparently. So I guess we'll take a couple of shots at this. I mean, I'm already here. Hey, you've been awake longer than I have. This is that line of crap that came out of South Dakota last night, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
So you're telling me we didn't have to go to Nebraska? We could have just went to Marshalltown, Iowa, and sat here and got the same storm.
Yeah, probably. I know when I got up and started moving, that whole line was severe warned. And now, I mean, it's kind of nothing now, but it's been severe warned all morning.
Yeah, it sure was when I scheduled the stream. There was like 5 or 6 severe warnings for sure. Go figure, right? I don't know, this little chunk might get a severe warning. Maybe. Do you live in Marshalltown? Yeah, I stayed here last night. I don't think I've ever actually really stayed here, because this is never my route home. So Google Maps tells me to get back to Wisconsin, I always need to take 30. It always wants me to get off at 80 in Des Moines and take 30, which makes no sense to me. But last night, all the hotels in Des Moines were like $300. I have no idea why. I'm guessing it's like 4th of July crap. I'm like, well, Marshalltown is $96. I'll just go home that way. And sure as hell, $96. $106 after tax. I'm like, damn, you can't beat that.
I think I've made my mind up temporarily until I get home and change it again. But I've decided to go home and grab that spare 4550 and just put it in a few different places in Kayla's Explorer and see if I can mount a couple radios in there to where it doesn't look trashy, because my OCD will not allow me to just have wires hanging everywhere. What I've got now drives me nuts. And if I can, then I'm probably just going to get her a new to her car and take hers. But if I can't, then she's going to stay in what she's got.
I mean, you can put like a Havas console in there with the floor shifter. They make one that's like the Durango where you can like mount the floor shifter in it. But no, like what you got right now actually is decent, because I'm the same way. Like as soon as you start having wires everywhere, like it gets nasty real fast.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about it. I was like, well, I guess I could like mount one on the side of the console, like
where the
where
little flowers
the computer
are. That's
mount
cool.
would be, and then I could put one like on top of the dash. I would just have to be very particular about running the wires and take the time to do it so they weren't visible, because if they are, I'll strangle myself with the wires eventually.
Well, you just said OCD, so I might have to make a tweet about you now.
I mean, it's valid with me. It very much is valid with me. Like dirtiness, the wire clutters, it drives me nuts. I can't handle it. Like Daniel's car, I couldn't. Hank was laughing at me because I looked in Daniel's car and I was like, how do you live in this? Like, oh my God.
The thing is, like, it's actually organized for what it is. It's just like there's so much wires, because he's like got them all coiled up and they're all like zippy tied and stuff, but it's like, I wonder how many feet of wire he has in that car. I bet he's got like a mile worth of wire if you put it all together.
Oh God, probably.
So we'll see if this storm gets moving a little bit. It is organizing a little bit. If you look at Radar Omega, you'll see it's coming
now
together.
I'm in standstill traffic. Literally stopped completely on the interstate.
Well, my road is closed. So. Oh, thunder. All right, cool.
Well, I'm moving 5 miles an hour now.
Now we're getting somewhere, guys. We got thunder, so now I'm not lying. We've got thunderstorms. Hang on, let me fix that focus for you. Give me a second. Raindrops got me. I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to go live on Sunday morning. Oh no, so as a joke. So I'll give you guys an update. Oh my, can I get a green light in any place in this town? Now, the joke with Zach was because there's this girl on Twitter that's absolutely obsessed with me. And she's upset because I made fun of her favorite radar app, which, if you're offended because somebody made fun of an app you use, you might be a little bit not fit for the internet. And she's making all these tweets about me being a big bully and how dare I insult her favorite radar app. Well, your favorite radar app sucks. Sorry. But that's beside the point. So then I basically was like, well, you talk a bunch of crap and say that, oh, Radar Omega bad, Radar Omega take people's jobs, Radar Omega bad. I'm like, how is that any different than me saying your radar app sucks? And her response was quote tweeting it, and she's like, I think Vince has OCD and a mental illness and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay, lady, you think that I have a mental illness, and I'm like, I need to go to a mental institution because I said your favorite radar app sucks. Okay. So then she starts getting a bunch of hate where people are like, you are nasty. you are inappropriate. That's ridiculous. You know, that's not, you know, hating a radar app has nothing to do with mental health. And if this guy had mental health problems, why would you be making fun of it? And she just got absolutely annihilated by people on the internet for it, and she deserved it. I think that was really rotten of her, because that basically tells people that do have mental health problems that they can't talk about it because they're going to get made fun of.
Everybody's standing around on their phones, so I'm not stopping. But nobody's even there yet.
Hold comms. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Okay, go ahead.
Seconds between transmissions for emergency traffic.
I'm gonna miss that. Oh no, I'm not. He's taking the radio home. That's something that could be his brand. He could put that on a t-shirt. Like, I'm dead serious.
2 seconds between transmissions.
We need the little, like, did you ever have one of those priority beeps, or the beep so that people knew not to key up on the radio, but they'd key up anyway when somebody was getting, like, shot or something? We need one of those. Yeah, radar is very serious. No kidding, right?
Oh, yeah.
Super serial.
Priority tones.
We always had this one deputy that would always ask for that. And keep in mind, there was, like, 2 cars in the whole county at any given time. And he'd be on a traffic stop and something would be a little bit fishy, and he'd be like, I need the priority marker, I need the priority marker. Hold the traffic. And it's like, there's only one other car. Like, who's holding their traffic?
Yeah, that thing has been overused in my career, to the point where when you hear the priority marker, your eyes roll, and you're like, oh, what now?
Back when I did Skywarn, before it was lame, we had a priority marker, because basically the people and me that were in charge of this, like, we were cool radio people, not lame radio people, so we had a priority marker. And it used to piss off all the ham radio operators, because they're like, what's the beeping? What's the beeping? And then somebody'd be like, shut up, something's happening. Get off my channel.
Yeah, I've got a priority marker on GMRS.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Mr. freaking GMRS over there. Jesus Christ. Well, let's see how severe this is.
WD-40 rolling around.
Hey, you got competition, because the original WD-40 has found my YouTube stream, and he is in my chat frequently, and has changed his name to OG WD-40. Oh shit, he's in my chat right now. There he is. There's Pat.
Dang.
That's hilarious. And I look over, and before I say it, shit, he's in my chat already. Look at that. Yeah, the WD-40's been around, but that's okay. You can use it too. Alright, well, I'm not quite sure what to do here, because there's no shelf cloud, there's nothing. Like, like I said, I feel like an idiot. When I scheduled this live stream from the shower in my hotel an hour and a half ago, there was like 6 severe thunderstorm warnings. And it looked nasty. But I'm wondering if it's going to intensify, because they did issue a mesoscale discussion saying that they might need to issue a watch. I don't know if I can pull it. They're saying that there could be hail up to 1.75 inches and 70 mile per hour winds if the storms develop. And they're just saying that as the storms move east, they could strengthen. That just beeped. So maybe we'll just. I mean, I need to go east anyway, so let's just stick with it.
Have I said today how much I hate driving through Missouri?
No, but it's implied. So I guess we'll just stick with this as we go east. I mean, why not, right? Maybe it'll do something.
It's terrible. It's horrible.
I still can't get over the fact that when I scheduled this live stream from my shower an hour and a half ago, there was like 5 or 6 severe warnings. One of them was like a 70-mile-an-hour warning, and then I get out to the car and it just craps out.
Yeah. Dude, it's already 90 degrees. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. It's 90 degrees down here.
Yeah, we've got like an extreme heat warning or something up here, and I didn't even know that was a thing. It must be new.
No, that's a thing. I usually don't go that far north.
Yeah, because I've never seen one before. It popped up on the app earlier, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, pink. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I thought it was a severe thunderstorm watch, but it's like extreme heat. I'm like, oh, great. That sounds fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah. Tennessee gets them a couple times a year every summer. It's getting about that time, about the middle of August, end of July, middle of August.
I mean, I like the warm weather, but like yesterday wasn't that bad, but when it's humid and 200 degrees, I tend to complain.
Yeah, yesterday was like borderline miserable, but not quite.
Alright folks, so we are live in the Radar Omega app if you want to look at the very impressive rain shower.
Yesterday would have been a horrible day to go without air conditioning.
So, I have some expectations that this will do something interesting at some point. I don't know when that point will be. We got to get back down to 30, I think.
Turn left onto East Merle Boulevard.
Oh, come on, Google. It doesn't even show me in the right spot.
Continue for
There we
1.5
go.
miles.
This is totally a bonus. I want to make it very clear that I did not drive here with the intent of whatever this is. I just woke up and there was a slight risk, and I'm like, well, okay. All right. We can work with that. Maybe. Maybe not. So I gotta run back to the office. I need to do some, this is the first time I've actually had to do a repair on this car. In like 40 to 50,000 miles of having it, this is like the first time I've actually had to repair something. Which is pretty damn good when you think about it. Because it idles like all day, every day. So it's not just the miles, it's like 10 hours of idling all day. But it's got a random misfire, which is good that it's the random misfire and not
Take your next right onto Wallace Avenue.
not a cylinder misfire, because these Hemis have that issue where they the lifters and stuff, but it doesn't make any noise. It's not lifters and cam. It's not that. Did plugs. The plugs are okay. I think it's the coils, because these vehicles that idle a lot, those ignition coils will burn up. The heat is really rough on them. And like all of the coils on the passenger side bank, because they're plastic, all of them, they have like little cracks in them, like, and they just look like they've been baked in front of a hairdryer for the past 30 years. I mean, they just look shot. So I'm gonna run to the dealership tomorrow, because these are really sensitive to aftermarket coils, so I gotta get the actual Mopar ones, which sucks because they're expensive, but I'm going to put all 8 coils in it, and that should take care of it. Because it doesn't do it while driving, it's just idling at certain times. So it's, you know, I did like the power balance test with the scan tool, and it's not one cylinder, it's just random. So it's not like a valve not sealing, it's not like a head gasket, it's not low compression, it's not a cam and lifter issue, it's just an ignition component issue, and it could be injectors, coils, spark plugs, but it's not the plugs. We did that just to do them. Highly doubtful it's all the injectors. It is most likely the fact that this is like 150,000 miles on it now, and it's got the factory coils, and it's got a bunch of idle time too, so I need to switch them out, but that's real easy. That'll only take a half hour. But that's like the first time I've actually had to put money into this, which is pretty damn good if you think about it. That's not too bad. So I got to get that taken care of real quick. But we have a backup vehicle now. 2 of them. I bought another vehicle. It's sitting in the driveway. Was looking long and hard for a very specific vehicle, and there's just not much of them left. And I found one, and I'm like, send it. So I had them ship it. But obviously that's not in service. That might not actually get put in service for weeks, so I need time to do it. That gives us the luxury of when this has a problem, you can just jump in the other vehicle, send it off to get fixed or whatever, and get on your merry way about it. And I can't get my tablet to stay connected here. It's not the tablet, it's the... For some reason, the router keeps kicking this off. It's got a static IP, and it's not supposed to kick it off, but it's kicking it off here. I don't know what's going on. They gave everything a static IP address to try to stop that shit, but... Oh shit, that stop sign. We better stop. Oh god, can you imagine the internet if we blew that stop sign right now? Oh boy. Seriously want me to turn here? Oh no, up there. Okay, never mind. Now we're getting some lightning. I don't know if you guys saw that, but 2 really good lightning strikes, so maybe it's gonna do something. There is some cape, there's energy farther east, but we've got a... I think once these storms move a little bit east, we've got a shot at maybe getting severe warnings on them again here. Oh, hey, there was a... Did you see that? Please tell me you saw the lightning. Like, if nothing else interesting happens, at least you can say you saw the lightning, and it is officially a thunderstorm. I don't know if the camera caught... Oh, you know, you did see it. Okay, good. Fantastic. You have a GMT 800. Well, I got 2 GMT 900s, and hopefully they keep running. The 800s were better. 900s weren't terrible. You just had to stay on top of them. The issue that I always had with the 900s, I guess it's not really an issue that I had, because I didn't have it, but the, like the new 5.3s with the direct injection, the GDI, I had all sorts of problems with every single one of those I've had. I like the old 5.3s, even with the lifter issues. It seems like you could take those in and get the lifters fixed and deleted or whatever a lot cheaper than you can the newer ones. Like, there's a lot of places around that'll do it for like $3,000, $3,500. At least around me. I know some places it's like $6,000, but people seem to be a lot more willing to work on those older ones. And they weren't like, a lot of the stuff wasn't VIN matched. I mean, you didn't have to freaking send it to the dealer when you swap something out. But I actually had better luck with the older 6L80s from like the GMT 900 versus the new. And I don't know why. I think on the newer ones, they have them programmed for like more torque converter slip or something. They burn up faster. I don't know. It's a question for Bob if he makes it into the chat. I can't see the damn chat except for like 1 or 2 messages here and there because it's a stupid router. But if Bob shows up, that'd be a better question for him, because a lot of people say that the newer 6L80 transmissions were supposed to be so much better, but I actually, it's kind of my experience, like the 2010 to 2014s were almost better. And I just honestly think that's just because they had less fuel economy crap in them. They didn't have that, I don't think they had that torque management either, because they didn't have, maybe they did, but it wasn't as aggressive. But I do like those 800s and 900 platform. I think they just look nice. There are all sorts of weird problems on like those 900s though, like the pump rub on the transfer cases. But realistically, you could take one of those older Tahoes or Silverados to a shop and get the damn transfer case replaced for probably $1,000. You tell the guy to find you a used one, he puts it in 2 hours. I mean, that older stuff, people are more willing to work on it, and when people are more willing to work on it, it means it's cheaper for the consumer. So we're gonna take this really squiggly road. Actually, wait a minute. I'm not taking this road. Why do you want me to take this road, you piece of fucking worthless junk? So, fun fact, there's a bunch of, so I don't know if anybody's, I'm new to the whole online, like, fan club crowd or whatever, because when I was a kid I had a life, right? And apparently what the kids do these days is they make Reddit communities about everybody. I don't know what happened there. Blame the router. What I was saying is, no, there's a Reddit thread, I guess, where all these kids are making fun of me and saying that there's something wrong with me or whatever because I complain about Google Maps, but I continue to use it. So we got to make sure we always poke fun at Google Maps now. It's like becoming the brand. If it bothers people that much, we got to make sure we continue to do it. Yeah, Google Maps wanted to take me down that winding road, but I'm going to take this straight one that's like a quarter of the distance. I don't know what the hell it was doing. I give up. We just need to go back to printing MapQuest directions out. Ooh, there was some good thunder. We got more lightning picking up. Maybe this is going to intensify. I hope so. That was good thunder. Oh, there was good lightning. Probably missed that one, though. I think I'm going to get on Reddit and just start replying to these people and be like, no, you're wrong, here's why. It'll freak them out. Oh no, he's here, he found us. I don't have time for that, but it'd be funny. Oh, those guys riding those 3 motorcycles are about to have a really crappy day. right here. I don't know why. Satellite should be getting through this. It's not. I don't know why. We're almost to the highway. We'll get better signal there in about 1 mile. But yeah, this thing is, this little squall is intensifying. So, we might be in business now. We might be redeeming ourselves here. Barely. All right, well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We have a what I thought was a severe thunderstorm. It had a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings on it, and then as soon as we started the stream, it died. But it's starting to re-intensify now. As it moves east, there's a little bit of instability, so a little bit of storm energy. We have a shot at this intensifying and maybe being interesting here. And we're already streaming and already here, so we're going to take it, see what we can do. Give it a fair chance. It's just a bonus day. I didn't drive here for this. I ended up staying in Marshalltown last night, which is kind of crazy because when I shut the live stream off, I think we were in Lexington, Nebraska, something like that. But you guys know we were in Sidney, Nebraska yesterday, which is about as far west in Nebraska as you can go on I-80. I mean, you can go a little farther, but only like half hour farther. And we were damn near in Cheyenne, Wyoming, for Christ's sakes. And I made it to Marshalltown last night. I got there about 1 o'clock, which wasn't bad at all. I would have been there earlier if I didn't have to stop 20 times to get something, try to find something to eat. Because every place I would stop, every like gas station or whatever would be out of food. Like there was just nothing. I had to keep stopping to try to find something. It was terrible. But 1 o'clock wasn't bad. Then I got a couple hours of work done. I pushed some updates in the app last night. Ones that you probably won't notice, but they needed to happen. And here we go. I think the next time that we actually get some real organized severe weather might be like like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Maybe we might get like some squall lines or whatever repeating themselves over like the Midwest. But there will be plenty of live streaming for over the next few days because we've got all sorts of radio sonde, weather balloon, and probe testing to do. One of the things we're trying to figure out is we essentially need an airborne probe, multiple airborne probes that can sample actually a tornado or an updraft. And we can do some of that with a balloon, but you have to understand the sonde is not meant to be in the like vortex of a tornado. It's for the air around it. So we need to develop another instrument for next year, and I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be. We actually had a concept last night, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but in the movie, they made all those little sensors out of the tin cans and put them in a 50-gallon barrel and spilled them all over the road. And it's like, you know what? Why couldn't we make some biodegradable sensors that are similar to the Sonde, put them in a 5-gallon bucket and just go dump them in front of a damn updraft or a tornado? The problem is getting something that's airborne. Because there's already a group that's using a potato cannon, and it seems to be not working very well for them. So I'm learning from their mistakes, and I'm not going to attempt a potato cannon. Plus, that's just, yeah. There's been groups that have used model rockets as well, but they've all quit using those, and they cite that it's just kind of uncontrollable and a little bit chaotic. However, it could just potentially be the people too, but trying to come up with a concept, because essentially the sensor will be very much geared upon the IMU, which is, we'll have to put an IMU on it, which is going to give us like those G-forces, essentially like your velocity and how it's like an electronic gyroscope. Your phone has an IMU, your drone has an IMU.
I'll be 10.8 for now.
IMUs are cheap. I can put an IMU on a sensor for like $6. And then that will give us the forces and such. And the whole scope of the idea here would be airborne Sondes sampling at the same time as something that we actually get into the tornado, go up the updraft, and then ground-based probes, live streaming vehicle probes, all that stuff. So there's going to be a lot of whiteboard live streams and lots of concepts coming, because we got to really buckle down on this crap, because I'm running out of time to get this paper written. So I have to do what's called an AMT. That's what it's called, right? Jesus Christ. Right? That is right. Yeah. It's too early for me. But basically it stands for atmospheric measuring techniques. For some reason I was thinking MMT, meteorological, but it's atmospheric measuring techniques, which basically is the paper that we have to write that explains in great detail all of the equipment that we've built and everything that I'm using, because I have to have that written before we publish anything else, because we have to reference essentially kind of like an instruction manual in a way for everything that we've built, because otherwise everything's meaningless. Oh, we launched a radio sonde and it got sucked up into a tornado. Okay, well that doesn't tell anybody anything. They need to know what it is, so we have to write this AMT first. And I don't want to publish it for just one thing. I want to knock out all of our devices in it. So we really need to settle on what we're doing. But we have a couple of concepts. We have a 3D printer now, which opens up the world into things. But we considered drones, but after talking to a lot of people that know more about measuring atmospheric data from drones, I'm determined that I don't think drones are the answer. There's that Otis project, and they do something with drones, but they're doing more of a live video flying into the tornado thing, which is perfectly fine. But when it comes to like data, I'm being told that just might not be the answer. We're going to potentially incorporate drop sondes as well. I know lots of people that are pilots that have planes, and it's like we could literally do drop sondes out of airplanes as well in supercells. So we're going to hit this really hard, and it's going to be one of the coolest things you guys have ever seen, because you're not only just going to see a bunch of people screaming and blowing a potato cannon out of a car, you're actually going to see people building this stuff, as you have, and testing it. It's going to be pretty cool. Like, I'm really enjoying this. So, and of course the data is going to be live for you guys, just like the weather balloons are live on the website. This stuff's going to come in live. All of the data is going to be accessible immediately. You guys are welcome to, do your own investigating with it and look through it and go over the data. As long as you're not using it as commercial to make money, you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to download it and make a video about it, or download it and just look at it. I don't care what you do, as long as it's not for commercial use. You have at it. The reason we say not for commercial use is because that wouldn't be very fair, right? To just give somebody a bunch of content to make and then we don't get anything, but we're going broke doing it. That wouldn't be fair. Thomas, I am an IFR pilot. As long as you don't ask the feds. Anybody can be an IFR pilot. As long as... I mean, the government don't track us. Hell, a potato could be an IFR pilot. Just as long as you keep it level and not in a dive, I mean, right? And try not to end up in the grass. I mean, you're good. That's going to be the next thing, the Project Weather Eye plane. If anybody's got about $60,000, I can go buy an airplane right now. And we can totally, like, paint it. And we can live stream from it. Because Starlink works on planes. I mean, we can totally... We can totally do that. I was looking at planes on Facebook Marketplace not too long ago, and there was a really nice, like, Cherokee 180. But the problem is it's a low wing, so you can't... We really would need a high wing airplane, because if we're going to start dropping sensors out of it, we need to be able to drop the sensor without just, like, chucking it at the wing, you know? So if we're going to start doing really questionable activities, then we need a high wing aircraft. But there was one some guy was getting rid of for, like, 55 grand. And it looked way too nice of an aircraft for 55 grand, so I wonder how many things were overdue on that. It's probably like 5,000 hours overdue for everything or something. Or was used to run drugs. Maybe that. The tour van, we could rent a tour van, maybe. Yeah, the helicopter would work too, but the airplane would be better for drop-ons. I'm actually not kidding. Like, I'm not going to go buy an airplane, but we do have people that have offered, and drop-ons would actually be useful in a supercell. An actual drop-sond. We could use the same thing we're using for the Sond. We would just have to make a different type of enclosure that would control the rate of descent a little bit. Lots of cool stuff coming, though. Seriously. I gotta figure out a way that we can get an inflow of cash, though, to make this a little bit easier. I gotta do some research and start reaching out to some companies, I guess. Potential sponsorships, partnerships, whatever. We stay in so many Hilton hotels out of the year. I feel like Hilton should give us free hotels and like 20 grand and be like, here. We have so many damn problems. I feel like I should be getting all my money back. God dang, like, I feel like we got to write a letter to complain about these hotels every other week. Like, I usually don't complain about them, but man, guys, like, it's getting bad recently. Like, you go into the room and like the air conditioner don't work and it's like 1,000 degrees in there and it's like, well, that's a problem. Then you go to the front desk and you're like, hey, my air don't work. And they're just like, okay. And they don't want to move you a room. It's like, well, it's like that. I told you guys about that Hampton Inn in Lubbock that I launched the investigation into, apparently. There was no hot water in the shower. Like, the shower knob was messed up. So I went down to the front desk. I was like, hey, I just need a different room, but I don't actually need the room. I just need the shower. Because I just need to take a shower because the shower's freezing cold. And she's like, well, I'll let maintenance know. And I was like, well, I'm checking out in an hour. I was like, can I do something about it, like, now? long story short, she got kind of pissy with me, and I was like, I paid $130 to stay here. Like, I want to take a shower. I'm not being ridiculous, because she told me that I was asking for too much. And I was like, well, I'm not being ridiculous. Like, I'm being very decent. Like, I'm not asking for a refund. I'm just saying, can I get another room to take a shower? That's all I want. And she, like, snapped her fingers at me and got all pissy, and she was like, there's a Fairfield across the parking lot. You can fucking leave and go over there. And I was like, okay, message received, crazy lady. So I called Hilton, and we did this live on stream, by the way. I called Hilton, and the guy was like, okay, I'm going to put you on hold. Let me call the hotel and see what's going on. We were on hold for like 10 to 15 minutes, and he comes back, and he's like, I am so sorry. Based upon the way that they talked to me, being the hotel, he's like, we're going to be having an investigation into this hotel, and I am so sorry. We're going to refund you and give you just a crap ton of points. I was like, oh, okay, cool, great. So we won. But yeah, that was the horror story of the year right there. Like, I don't know what I did. I was very nice to her. I was like, I don't need another room, but I need another room. I'm like, I won't like touch the bed. I won't touch anything. You won't have to clean it. I just need the bathroom so I can take a shower. Well, you can effing leave and go over to the Fairfield. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I will go over to the Fairfield, crazy lady. I'm like, I bet you they're a lot nicer over there at the Fairfield. This is the one in this is Hampton Inn South Lubbock. The Hampton Inn Southwest and Hampton Inn North are very, very nice. But that's South Lubbock Hampton Inn, guys, I'm telling you. It's a Super 8 in disguise. It sounds like it ain't gonna be one. Anyway, folks, so this storm. Wow, look at that. Here. I know what it needs. Hang on. There we go. We have a big tornado right there in the middle. See? There you go. All right, cool. How about, you guys want some lightning too? All right, look at all the lightning. Wow. Hey, maybe even a shelf cloud too. Wow, shelf cloud. Wow, that's great. Somebody's going to regret me getting that capability of drawing on screen. No, so I'm being very sarcastic about this, because when I scheduled this live stream, there was like 5 or 6 severe thunderstorm warnings for this entire line of storms. And I was standing in the shower at the hotel, and I was like, hey, I better get in the car and schedule a live stream, because shoot, that looks pretty good. You know, and I fire up Radar Omega, and I'm getting everything ready, and I'm like, oh, cripes, here we go. Wow, look at this. Bonus storm chase. This is going to be great. And then I get in the car, and I open up Radar Omega, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. That must be a mistake. There's no severe thunderstorm warnings. That's weird. So I close it, reopen it, and I'm like, huh, weird. And then I'm like, oh, no. It's crapped out. It's crapped out. So it crapped out on us. But the mesoscale discussion did say that they might need to issue a watch as these storms move east, because there's more instability out here. So there is a like 50-50 shot here that we could end up with a severe thunderstorm and maybe some hail. The mesoscale discussion said that if these storms actually take off, they could have up to 70 mile per hour winds and up to 1.75 inch hail. So I have to go this way towards Cedar Rapids anyway, so I guess we're just going to stick with them and keep streaming here and see if we can find anything. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Could be a good one, or not. But we don't really stream on Sunday mornings very often, so it's like we might as well. So, what are you guys? What are we doing over there? What's these guys doing? Parking under the overpass already? No way. I mean, this blob of storms is bringing some rain. I don't know if it's dry out here or not. I know at one point it was dry out here. But I haven't been home for like a week and a half, so I don't know what the rain situation's been like. I don't know if this is needed or not. Normally I would take 80, but these storms aren't anywhere near 80, so we got to take 30. So a lot of the like computer models, like the CSU and all that, they're showing like tomorrow there could actually be a pretty strong risk of tornadoes, maybe even up in the northwest part of Minnesota, but that very easily could end up in Canada. I'm not going to be doing that because we got to go pick up some equipment. I got to get some of our I got to go get more sondes, balloons, etc. Looks like there could be some severe weather chances, honestly, across Wisconsin and Iowa for like day 3, 4, 5. So that would be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday. One thing I do see is that day 4, and day 3 have severe weather chances on CSU down into Nebraska and Kansas. So there's a small chance that we may have to flip back around very quickly, but we'll see what happens, because this is going to be kind of a transitional week. We usually get this right around the first week of July, like clockwork. Last week of June or the first week of July, where we like abruptly stop with severe weather in the high plains. And then we get these like parts of the Dakotas into Mississippi, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin. You start getting these like squall line events for a solid like 5 to 7 days. And then it kind of transitions back out to the high plains. Like, it just seems to happen that way every single year. You just get this abrupt stop, and then you get a break out in Tornado Alley, and then it eventually shifts back out there within like a week to 10 days. So if you time it right, this is when you do all of your restocking, which is what I'm doing, obviously. I've got to get restocked. Alright, do we got a shelf cloud yet? Nope. Come on, Storm. You can do it. Something. It's killing me here. We'll have to do some model watching here over the next couple of days, because this is the time of the year where we start to get into more of these kind of last minute events where you don't really realize there's a severe weather event until, because like it'll be a marginal risk and it won't look that good, but then the morning of, all of a sudden it looks better, and then it gets upgraded to slight, and then if you're not there, you're like, oh well, I should have been there. So you really got to be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. When we don't have these big troughs coming through, or these big waves coming through. It makes it harder to pick out the severe weather risks. At least ahead of time. A day before, maybe. But I have no interest in going up to northwest Minnesota. I just don't. Like, the amount of time it would take to get up there, basically what it would cost us the ability to restock, and then we're just going to be another week behind, because by the time we go up there and get back, there would just be no time to restock. We'd have to go straight into more chasing, and you know, I'm out of our little tiny Sans. I have the big ones, but not the little ones, and I need those little ones to do testing. So I gotta run back to the office and get them. Still waiting on a severe thunderstorm warning anywhere in this line to make me feel better and more accomplished. Maybe if the Weather Service is watching, and take my personal needs into consideration here and do that. It actually looks like up there by Independence and Manchester, I think this line's kind of converging, so we might actually end up shooting north out of Cedar Rapids and going up to Manchester on 20. I would watch that Highway 20 area from Independence all the way to Dubuque. That area might ramp up a little bit here. Looks like it's starting to. But there is more cape, there's more energy out this way, so. That's what these storms are lacking right now, is just instability for the most part. It's early. I mean, it's almost noon, but it's early. I don't think we're going to get a Tor Helicane today. Rip off. I tell you what though, for a week of very low end severe weather, we sure did get some really nice days out there, didn't we? I mean, we really did. Nothing like incredibly noteworthy, but just really nice, easy to chase days. Except for yesterday. Yesterday sucked balls. That was terrible. Kentucky also got a bunch of tornadoes or something apparently too. I don't know what happened there, of all things. I haven't driven through this part of Iowa for a while unless it's been on the interstate.
We are maximized. This is some again.
That's the side of the road. Sorry, there's a thing over there. I didn't want to run out. I don't know if it was a rabbit or what. Freaking possum or something. Alright, so we're almost to Cedar Rapids, so if this line, part of the lineup by Independence does start to intensify, I don't really have a problem going north. So we go up to like Manchester. If you guys look at Radar Omega and like play the loop back, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. There's a lot of lightning activity up there too. Starting to get a little bit windy out, but 73 degrees, a little bit cool out here. Kind of humid too. Yeah, we got an extreme heat warning here. My God. Really? I'd rather have a, I don't know, extreme cloud warning or something. I'd take a severe thunderstorm watch over an extreme heat warning. I will be as patient as I can, which is not very patient with this thing, all the way through Cedar Rapids. But I tell you what, if this don't do something, I might cry. Because if it gets a warning, it'll probably be up there by 20. Which is fine, because we take 151 and that starts closing in on 20. I gotta stop. Well, I guess I don't need gas. I say I need to get gas at some point, but Yeah, it's basically July already, which is ridiculous. I can't believe it. I really can't. We just got the new SPC outlook. And they just shrunk the slight risk out here to be this really, really teeny tiny area in front of this line. Alright, so this is Cedar Rapids. Now, as soon as we get through town, we'll start going northeast. So we'll kind of be closing in on that line. We outran it just a little bit. But that's okay, because nothing was happening. We were out in Iowa quite a few times earlier this year for severe weather, which is kind of unusual.
For everything behind you.
Because usually that's more of a summer thing. You canceled what? Never mind, I won't say it. What did you cancel?
I didn't cancel anything. I said it looks like that slight risk this morning was just for the stuff you're on, because everything behind you it's been canceled for.
Yeah, I saw that. Now we have the world's smallest slight risk.
It's very tiny.
So, it's starting to get a little stronger up there by Highway 20, and I kind of have to go that way. Let's put it this way, it has been so piss poor that you can't even tell there's a storm around. Like, we saw some lightning, and then I turned the camera around, and I'm like, where's the lightning even coming from?
That's interesting.
No, it's actually not.
Well, I mean, at least there's lightning. Unless, I don't know.
More than we got yesterday.
That is as valid as can be.
windshield wipers are shot too. Somebody explain that to me. Now let me give you the backstory. This windshield has no cracks, no chips, no anything. It's not abrasive. There's nothing that should be tearing up the wipers. I have tried cheap wipers, expensive wipers, in-between wipers. I've tried Rain-X, Bosch, Trico. I've tried freaking everything. I get like 2 weeks out of all of them. And I got thinking about like my F-150, I only changed the windshield wipers on that once in like 9 months. My Tahoe, I never changed the wipers on that thing. Like I would change it like once every 2 or 3 months, which is expected because I'm driving all the time in the rain, but I'm getting like 2 weeks out of this. I don't know if it's just the way the windshield is or what, but I put these wipers on when I left a week and a half ago and they're shot already. And like I cleaned the window, like I cleaned the bugs off. It's not like it's just smearing because of the stuff on the windshield. Like I take care of the windshield. Now I'm starting to wonder if it's the Rain-X. I wonder because the Rain-X makes it a little bit tacky. I wonder if it's tearing the rubber apart. Well, I wondered if it was like the spring tension too, but it's just weird that they go to shit this fast. Because like it came with, when I got it, I put the expensive ones on it for the hell of it, just to see if they were any better. Those were trash right away. And then I put cheap ones on it, they're trash. And then I put the medium ones on it, they're trash. That's why I usually just buy the cheap windshield wipers, because I only get 2 weeks out of them. So might as well just spend $20 every 2 weeks versus $60 every 2 weeks, you know? Well, and I'm wondering if it is the Rain-X, because like when you put the Rain-X on, if you feel the windshield, it's a little bit tacky. But if I don't have the Rain-X, I can't see. But that's the only thing that I can think of too, is it's got to be the Rain-X. I could try just waxing the windshield though too. I used to do that. We just put wax on the windshield and then let it sit in the sun for an hour, and it gets like stuck to the windshield, and just kind of rub it off. That works honestly, that works just as good as Rain-X, but it lasts longer. But it takes longer to put it on there because you have to let it sit there and like bake in the sun, otherwise it doesn't work. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, then you have the other issue, which is the fact that people are just building crappy products these days. But, you know, it's not made how it's used to. You know, that's a real thing. You know, things just aren't made the way we see that in pretty much everything these days. It's a corporate greed, folks. We can make an extra $1 if we cheap out. That's why it's important when you find a quality product or a quality business, you buy their stuff. What has this guy got on his trailer? Whatever it is, it looks over height. Maybe not. No, it's probably not. There's no way. He's got one strap on that sucker. That's a violation. That's actually extremely dangerous. We need to get away from this guy. What the frick? One strap on that. And it looks like, I think it's bags of concrete. Seriously, I think it's bags of concrete. There's no way though. That would snap the frickin' axle on that. One strap. 1, 2, 3. He's got like 9 pallets stacked with like one layer on each pallet, and he's got one ratchet strap on it. Not like a load strap, like a ratchet strap. That guy needs to get pulled over and ticketed. That's really stupid. But then meanwhile, you got the commercial vehicle driver who's been driving for 40 years, has a marker light out, and he'll be the one that's pulled over on the side of the road because his marker light burned out, you know? Like, that's nothing against cops. I'm just saying that's usually how it works, though. You know, you got the guy who's driven 1 million miles without an accident. He gets pulled over and ticketed for a marker light. But then you got that cowboy over there who's about to spill his load all over an unsuspecting family's minivan on the road, and they get away. Where's the cop when you need him, damn it? Be an easy ticket right there, I bet you. I tell you the story about I don't know if you guys were around yesterday when I was in the O'Reilly's parking lot, but we were live streaming and Zach was there. This hotshot driver pulls up. And he doesn't speak English, which is fine. However, I do... Let me be very clear about something. I don't have a problem with somebody speaking a different language, but if you're going to be driving for a business, you need to speak English because there could be an emergency and you need to be able to communicate. That's all there is to it, plain and simple. You need to be able to, speak enough fluid English that you're driving for a business. You could be in an accident, a hazmat issue. You could be in all sorts of... You need to be able to communicate those whatever needs you need for an emergency. You need to be able to at least that. And that would be the same, like if I went to a Norwegian speaking country or whatever, if that's even a language, I would need to learn that language. You know what I'm saying? That's not a political sensitive issue. That's just a fact, right? Because you're driving for commerce and you need to be able to report something like this. This poor guy couldn't even speak, and it's like, oh, this isn't good. So he was Google translating, and he was speaking a language I've never heard. I've got no idea what it was. I really don't. I'm actually interested in what it was, but never heard this language before. But he uses Google Translate and then shows Zach on his phone, like, I need a mechanic. And Zach's like, oh yeah, we're not mechanics. We don't know what we're doing. Which, okay. But there was nothing wrong with this guy's truck. He goes and gets somebody from O'Reilly's and he's poking around with it, and he's got his truck running, but he's spraying ether in his running truck. Like, I'm not joking. The truck is running and he's just like dumping ether in it. Here, I gotta flip off this camera. I have flipped off the speed camera. Those are stupid. But he's just spraying ether in it. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, the thing was running perfectly fine. So I kind of wonder if this hotshot driver was just trying to get out of driving the rest of the day. But this guy from O'Reilly's was like, you shouldn't do that. And like, the guy didn't understand what he was saying. And he's like, I don't think you should do that. And I don't know what was actually going on, because part of this was live streamed. That's why I'm bringing the story up, because I don't think anybody heard the rest of the story. But he was just spraying, just unloading that can of ether in the intake of that thing while it was running. And it was running perfectly fine. I have no idea why he was just unloading ether into it. Like, I was waiting for him to blow something up, because that seems like a real good way to, run your diesel away. You sound like a bitch complaining. Listen, dude, you have the most miserable life if we can't tell a story without you getting personally offended. And you seriously need to get the stick out of your asshole and go, like, actually do something with your life so you're not so easily offended, because I'm legitimately concerned for your well-being if you are offended and have an issue with me telling you a story. You seriously need to get whatever is stuck up your butt pulled out of it as soon as possible, because God, man, what a miserable life you live. No, I didn't offer to help. Nope, I didn't, because we were busy. And I couldn't communicate with the gentleman. I couldn't. I don't know what was wrong. He was just speaking. I have no idea what the language was, because as soon as Zach left, he started speaking to me in this other language, and I don't know what it was. And he wasn't using Google Translate. He was just like going, like, rattling off. And I was like, I said, I'm not sure what language that is. And the O'Reilly's guy was like, I don't know. And he handed me the can of ether. And I'm like, do you want me to throw it away? Like, because I don't know if he was just like trying to get rid of it, like he thought I worked there, or what. But he definitely wanted me to fix his car or fix his truck for free. Keep in mind, fix his business vehicle for free, because that's what he Google translated to the O'Reilly's worker, was that he didn't, and again, it could have translated wrong, but what he showed the O'Reilly's worker was, I don't want to pay to fix this. I need a mechanic for free. And it's like, well, I mean, I'm a mechanic, but I'm not, like, if you're broken down on the side of the road and you're in an unsafe location, I'll stop and help you get to a safer location, but I'm in the parking lot at O'Reilly's trying to fix my own car, and you want me to stop what I'm doing to fix your truck that your boss or you should be paying to fix. I thought that was a little bit silly. But I don't know, like, where I was going with this is I don't know why we were spraying ether into it. And I don't know if the guy ever ended up blowing it up, but like, it was running and he's just spraying ether in it. Like, he's totally washing those cylinder walls out with the freaking ether. Like, it was a 7.3 and it was running beautifully fine. Like, it was running perfectly fine without it. And he's just spraying ether down the intake, like choking this thing with ether. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to say anything because I feel like maybe this guy knows something that I don't. And I'm watching this dude for like 2 minutes just spray ether down this thing and go through like 2 or 3 cans of ether. And the guy from O'Reilly's is just like looking and watching this in horror. And I'm like, this guy's fixing to blow something up. Maybe that's what he wanted. I don't know. Maybe he's just sick of his boss and he's like, you know what? Screw this guy. I'm going to blow this sucker up. But like, that to me seems like a good way to get the thing to run away or something. I don't know what was going on. Like, I kind of should have stuck around because I genuinely want to know why we were just drowning our truck with ether, because it was running fine. No, it was not nearly as weird as the soap guy, because this guy was like not sketchy. Like, this guy didn't seem to be like, he didn't ask me for what I think were drugs. I'm pretty sure that soap guy wanted drugs and then he made that up. I don't know, but yeah, those of you that don't know, we had a guy come up to me in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, maybe it was a science experiment. You're right, yeah. But in the middle of nowhere the other day, Nebraska, and he gets real close to my bumper. I lock my doors and I crack the window like 3 inches to talk to him. And like, I'm in drive. I'm ready to get the hell out of there because this guy's creeping me out. And he goes, hey, do you got any soap? And I was like, I'm sorry? He goes, soap. You got any soap? I'm like, no, unfortunately, sir, I don't have soap. He goes, oh, I got a leak in my gas tank. Then he turns around and walks away. Well, when he said soap, I thought he meant like drugs, because don't they call acid like soap or something? I don't know. I'm just like, does this guy think I'm selling drugs? Like, is that why you're asking me for soap? Like, what's going on here? But he said he had a leak in his gas tank. And I'm like, okay, but then I was like, okay, this might not be that weird because maybe he just wants to wash his hands or something. But I just thought that was really weird. This guy randomly in the middle of nowhere comes up to me and he's like, you got soap? I need soap. Like, no, man, I don't got any soap. Sorry. I've never been asked in the middle of nowhere if I had any soap. I just thought it was weird. And then, of course, somebody got mad at me, and they're like, well, that wasn't very nice. I'm like, I don't know what was not very nice. I don't have any soap. Do you want me to just magically make soap appear? Like, I don't know, man. That was kind of weird. It definitely weirded me out. The other day, this is actually a funny story. So the other day in Lyman, I was at the Best Western, and I was out in my car working on my computer. This guy comes up to me 3 times wearing like jeans. He's got black longer hair and cowboy boots. And you'll know why this is important in a minute. Some of you guys probably know where I'm going with this already. 3 times asked me for a cigarette. I think he was so under the influence of something that he didn't realize he asked me for a cigarette already. Because there was like 10 minutes between these times over the course of like 30 to 45 minutes. And he would just walk up and he's like, hey man, you got to smoke? And I was like, no, dude, I don't smoke, but, you know, have a good day, I guess. The 3rd time he came up to me, and I'm starting to think this guy is like joking or something, but he goes, hey man, I see you've been sitting here for a minute. I watched you pull in. You got a cigarette? I need a cigarette. And it's like, dude, I didn't pull in. I've been parked here for 12 hours. But I was like, no, man, I don't, but maybe somebody inside does. He's like, thanks, dude. All right. Well, so I'm sitting in the car, and I hear the cowboy boots walking up to me again, and I'm just like, ah, Christ, here we go. And all I see are the pants. And before this guy can get a word out, I'm like, howdy, what the hell can I do for you this time? And then I look over and it's Hank. And I went, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I said, I'm so sorry. I thought you were the cigarette guy. And he's like, what? I'm like, no, there's a guy that keeps trying to get a cigarette from me. And he's got like the same color hair you do, the same cowboy boots, and the same pants. I said, I thought you were the cigarette guy. And Hank's like, oh, I don't want to bother you. He's like, if you're busy. I'm like, no, I thought you were the cigarette guy. It's fine. So then I ended up talking to Hank for like an hour. And I'm hoping that the cigarette guy comes back. Because now I look like an asshole, right? Because I'm just like, God, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, shit, wrong person. Cigarette guy never comes back. Totally disappeared. Hank leaves. 5 minutes later, guess who comes back? Cigarette guy. You got to smoke, man? Like, you got it. Like, God damn it. Like, really? 5 minutes after he leaves, here comes the cigarette guy. We talked for like an hour in the parking lot. No cigarette guy. He leaves. 5 minutes later, here comes the cigarette guy again. 4 times this guy asked me for a cigarette. And I don't think he remembered any single time that he had already asked me for a cigarette. I think there might have been some under the influence going on there. But it was really weird. Like, the guy wasn't like creepy. It was just really weird because he was like forgetting that he asked me if I had a cigarette. And I don't know why, but people come up to me all the time and ask me for cigarettes. All the time. I had this discussion not too long ago with you guys where every time I like walk into a gas station, it seems like at least twice a week, somebody's like, you got a cigarette? I don't smoke. I've never smoked before in my life. I don't even know what the hell I would do with a cigarette. Like, I don't even know how you use them, for Christ's sakes. Like, for some reason, people think that I have a cigarette. Like, honestly, I should just go buy some cigarettes. And the next time somebody asks me if I got a cigarette for them, I'll be like, sure, $5. And I could probably make a bunch of money. Let's just start bootleg cigarettes. I don't know. I don't know why we went through Cedar Rapids like this. This is stupid. No severe thunderstorm warning, but damn it, we just got a special weather statement. Well, I better tell freaking radio that. Oh my God, special weather statement. Ah. That's what the kids on TikTok do with their weather radios. They're like, oh my God, tornado warning. Ah. They just start like freaking out.
I only got a key up.
Oh my God, special weather statement.
Best thing you've had.
All right, we need to get the cardboard box. Go get the box interceptor.
Make sure it's some spikes.
Go get the sub interceptor, whatever that is. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but on TikTok, there's a bunch of kids that are like in high school that are intercepting storms in cardboard boxes now. So if you go on TikTok and start looking at some of the weather content, it's a little bit weird. They call them box interceptors. And basically what they do is they take a refrigerator box and they cut a window in it. And then they go put it in the yard when there's rain or a hailstorm, and they intercept the storm in the cardboard box. And there was this one kid. I actually kind of feel bad for some of these guys if that's their excitement. It's like, where's the parents? First of all, get them off of TikTok. Like, that's a terrible place for 15 to 18-year-olds. Terrible place.
Yeah, I've got 227s.
You know, where's the parents? Like, just get them on like literally anything else besides TikTok. But there's so much porn on TikTok. It's ridiculous. But these guys, there was this one, there's like tornado sirens going off in the background, and this guy's like, there's a tornado warning with a confirmed tornado nearby, and we are intercepting. And this guy is literally in a refrigerator box in his front lawn. And you know what? I'm not one to dog on that stuff, because you know what? You're right. Storms are cool. But holy shit, dude, like, that's how you die. Like, that cardboard box is not where you should be if there's a tornado about to rip through your town. What in the hell are you doing?
Illinois 6534 3693.
Like, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't do that. But now what they're doing, and Zach can tell you guys more about this, but he's more in tune with it. I think he secretly wants to do this because he follows all these kids. A lot of these college kids are making what they call sub-interceptors, right? And I know that just sounds ridiculous, but so they're taking junk cars and they're just welding a bunch of sheet metal onto them, and they're like, yeah, we're going to drive this into a tornado, and it's like, you're going to die. There's this one guy, and I'm not going to like dog on him because I really do appreciate the fact that this guy is not wasting his time on the internet. Like, he's actually building something. That's cool, and we should honestly all respect that. But this guy he took a Saturn, which is like a coupe, like a two-door coupe from like 2002 that barely runs, and put like 2,000 pounds of sheet metal on it and just randomly welding sheet metal to it, and plans to drive this down the public roadway into a tornado. That scares me that all these people are doing that, because if that vehicle's in an accident, it's going to kill people, and it's not going to survive a tornado. There's this big thing on the internet. As soon as people start getting these junkers built, I'm genuinely concerned that we're going to see somebody get killed. Your little two-door Saturn coupe, doesn't matter how much metal on it, is not safe in a tornado. There's really no vehicle that's safe in a tornado. I would argue that Ryan Shepard's TIV is probably pretty safe in a tornado, because when Sean Casey built that, Sean Casey's honestly an engineering genius. A lot of people don't like him, but he's very smart. That thing was built, you know, from the ground. I mean, that thing's actually built to have like concrete slamming into it. I mean, that's a very stout vehicle. That is the only one that realistically is worth a damn, because the other unmentioned, the freaking Rotaminot whatever, that thing is 16 gauge sheet metal. 16 gauge sheet metal is not going to stop anything. I'm sorry. We've seen 2x4s go through concrete in tornadoes. 16 gauge sheet metal ain't going to do nothing, and that's not me being an asshole. It's just a fact. Like, we don't die, don't get killed, you know. But it does kind of worry me as soon as some of these TikTok TIV ripoffs start hitting the streets. I'm really scared somebody's going to get hurt. Because, yeah, you can just start welding metal onto a car and it could give you some protection in a tornado. But the problem is that I don't think people realize is sometimes these very small tornadoes can have such strong focused vortices, or the actual vortex of the tornado at the ground level. You're getting 200 mile per hour winds in a tiny little area. And all it takes is a rock, a brick, a piece of sheet metal, something to be flying at a velocity of 200 miles per hour. And it's physics, guys. That projectile is a missile, and it's going to go through anything. You know? Oh, our education system is 100% screwed. And I talk about this all the time. Like, when I was in high school, we had shop class where you learned to build things. We had a math teacher who taught you how to balance a checkbook. You know, we learned a lot of practical stuff, and that's the problem. You know, schools don't teach practical stuff anymore. You know, I argue, you know, math, science, English, all that stuff's important. But a lot of schools don't teach practical skills anymore, and I think that's a problem. Because we had an ag teacher, you know, an agriculture teacher, and, you know, he was a shop teacher and all that, and taught welding. And you could learn how to be a good enough welder in his class in high school that you could get a job as a welder. I am not kidding. We had a couple of kids that went straight from high school to being welders. Like, the guy taught people how to weld and how to build things and how to fix your car. Like, he did some really good work. Very, very good. You know, but taught people skills they could use to make money. Like, he had a plumbing class, and there was a carpentry class, and like, we had, you know, kids taking these, and like, they were learning skills that honestly can go make them some money right away. But they axed, as soon as he retired, They got rid of that and they don't do it no more. It's too bad. These practical skills are a thing. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It's like what my math and physics teacher said. Because he was an engineer before he was a physics teacher. And he told everybody, he's like, he actually encouraged people to cheat. He's like, you know what? He goes, your phones are, because this was 12 years ago, and our phones were enough back then to Google stuff. But, we had smartphones, believe it or not. It wasn't that long ago. He was like, honestly, he goes, I actually encourage you guys to cheat. He goes, I call it using your resources. He's like, I don't think that you should have to memorize this, memorize that, and then regurgitate it on an exam. He goes, I think that you should be using your resources to solve these problems. So he was writing exams and tests and homework and shit that wasn't necessarily to test your memory. It was to test your problem-solving skills. And I don't think he has a job at that school anymore because the principal's a bitch and didn't like that. But that was the kind of teaching that we needed, like problem-solving. It's not... You shouldn't teach kids to regurgitate facts on paper. You should be teaching them how to solve problems, because we have so many tools and resources available to us these days that I don't need to know, advanced trigonometry and this and that. I just need to know how to solve the problem and how to look up for an answer. We had a science teacher, chemistry teacher that was like that too. She retired, and she was very good, and she was the same way. She was like, she's like, as long as you can look up something and figure out how to solve these problems or whatever, you can use your book, use the internet, I don't care. Pull your iPad out, I don't care what you use, just figure it out. And she was making sure that, all of her coursework or whatever, basically to pass, you didn't have to just regurgitate crap on a paper. You had to solve a problem. Like, you would be given a problem and you would have to solve it. And however you solved it, it didn't matter as long as you solved it. You were being taught problem-solving skills, not just spitting out crap on paper. I think we need more of that. We had some good teachers, but they all quit, got fired, or moved on. I think we were the last generation, at least in that school, of people that kind of entered the workforce, if that makes sense. Because here's the thing, folks. You can teach somebody to regurgitate crap on a notepad all day. That's not going to solve a damn problem for the average person. I actually have to do some chemistry for my job, right? I don't need to tell you how many free-ranging electrons or whatever the hell it is goes in an element of frickin' nickel or whatever the hell it is. I need to know how to solve those problems. Like, I need to know, okay, all right, we're dealing with chemistry, so that's going to be over here. We're dealing with the elements, periodic table. I need to know how this might happen. Okay, so we need to go get a chemistry book and we need to look up this. Like, we need to know how to solve problems, and then you learn from solving those problems. Like, when I was in high school, our teachers had the philosophy of, if you can teach you how to solve a problem, you can learn anything. I always thought it was bullshit when you'd be just basically told, okay, you need to memorize this and write it down at the end of the year, and that's how you pass the class. And it's like, that doesn't teach anybody anything. If you teach somebody how to solve a problem, then they can go find the answer for themselves. We had EMS and paramedic instructors that were very good with that too, because a lot of these folks, they teach you, oh, this is the dose, this is the this is the dose, this is the contraindications, these are your who, what, when, where, why. It's like, well, that doesn't really show anything. Like, you need to show me and teach me what this does and why. I don't just want to know, oh, you give nitroglycerin when somebody's chest hurts and hope to God they're not having a heart attack, LOL. No, like, you need to teach us what that does and why we're giving it, because then we can understand and solve other problems with it. You know, we had some good ones and some bad ones, but I honestly think that a lot of teachers are kind of quitting and getting fed up, because I think the pay for some of these teachers is garbage. I mean, I know for a fact that, like, our teachers were getting paid like $35,000-$40,000 a year, and I think that's, I don't know, I think a good teacher should be paid one of the highest paying jobs, because realistically they're the ones that are making sure that we have a job and we can make some money and survive someday. And here they're getting paid less than what a lot of us were. Like, I was making more money. I'll never forget my damn history teacher. This guy was super cool. You know, we were talking about, because I had a really good job when I was 18, and I was actually skipping school to go work the job. And him and I were talking about it, because he was like, where are you going? I'm like, work, dude. And we were talking or whatever. I said, it pays so good. I'm like, I can't not do it. He's like, what are you getting paid? And I flat out told him. He goes, dude, that's more than I'm making. I'm like, well, that's awkward. And he was like, Jesus Christ. He's like, no wonder. He's like, yeah, don't lose that job. Holy smokes. You know, I mean, I was 18 in high school, and I was so fortunate to find something where I was basically making like 45 a year if I would have kept at it all year. And he's like, that's more than I'm making. And that's ridiculous. This was a good teacher that actually taught people stuff, and actually taught people how to solve problems, and went beyond just the history book. And it's just sad that a lot of these teachers just get overlooked when it comes to compensation and everything. I think that's why a lot of these good teachers are quitting and just not doing it. You know, you can't expect somebody, you know, and, you know, 40,000, I know a lot of people make less than that. I'm not trying to sound rude or anything, but you know, a lot of these people are married with kids, and maybe they've only got 1.5 or, you know, 2 incomes, and the prices of things are going up these days, folks. You know, $40,000 don't get you a whole lot. Let me run in and get something to eat quick. We're going to continue this in like 5 minutes, or 5 seconds. Don't go away. This is going to get interesting.
There is a chance that spotter activation will be needed today, especially along and north of the Interstate 80 corridor. And now, your National Weather Service forecast for Cedar Rapids and surrounding areas. West of today, cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the mid-80s. Southeast winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, mostly cloudy until midnight, then clearing. Humid with lows in the mid-70s. South winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour, diminishing to around 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour after midnight. Monday, sunny, hot with highs in the mid-90s. South winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Heat index values up to 109 in the afternoon. Monday night, mostly clear. Humid with lows in the upper 70s. South winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Heat index values up to 108 early until midnight. Tuesday, sunny, hot with highs in the mid-90s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Heat index values up to 108 in the afternoon. Tuesday night through Wednesday night, mostly clear. Hot. Lows in the mid-70s. Highs in the mid-90s. Thursday, mostly sunny. Hot. Highs in the lower 90s. Thursday night through Independence Day, mostly clear. Hot. Lows in the lower 70s. Highs in the lower 90s. Again, the forecast for Cedar Rapids and surrounding areas for the rest of today, cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the mid-80s. Southeast winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain 50%. You're listening to NOAA Weather Radio Station WXL61 in Cedar Rapids. The current time is 12:12 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At noon at Cedar Rapids, skies were cloudy. The temperature was 74 degrees, dew point 71, relative humidity 91%. The wind was southeast at 13 miles an hour, gusting to 24. And the pressure was 29.81 inches and rising. At Iowa City, skies were cloudy. The temperature was 77 degrees, dew point 72, relative humidity 84%. The wind was southeast at 20 miles an hour, gusting to 29. And the pressure was 29.80 inches and falling. Close to home, Burlington mostly sunny and 84. Dubuque mostly sunny.
Okay, we got to get out of here expeditiously.
Monticello 72. Muscatine 82. The Quad.
So I used to date this girl that lived in Iowa. Lives in Iowa. And 100% always came to Cedar Rapids for shit. She's 100% in there, and it's super awkward. So I was able to get out without interaction. So we just got to leave. We just got to leave. Just go. Leave. Quickly. Avoid at all costs. Leave. Anyway, I got Mountain Dew and the cheese stuffed spuds, which is just a tater tot, basically. Got 50 cars coming through here. Yeah, so I came from the school that I went to was like a kindergarten through 12th grade school. There was only 300 kids in the whole school, if that tells you anything. It was just a very rural area. And we had a really good principal and a really good school board. Like, everybody was farmers, and, you know, most of the teachers were really, like, blue-collar folks that had worked jobs. Like, what was really interesting is, you know, like, the math teacher, the physics teacher, he was an engineer for Hormel, like the chili company or whatever, and like designed all of their like machines or or something, I don't know. So like he had background in his field other than teaching. You know, the ag teacher was a farmer and a welder, so he had worked in his field. Like, we had people that had real world experience. But I know that something happened about 3 or 4 years after I graduated, because all of them left at once. Every single teacher that we had, I'm not joking, every single teacher we had left at the same time. So something happened. But we had good teachers because they had they had experience in what they were doing. By the way, we're heading toward that storm. It's off to our left. But they had experience in what they were doing, like real world experience. It wasn't just fresh out of college, because I'll be honest with you, some of these teachers now, some of them, they've never not lived away from their parents. They literally lived with their parents their whole life. They went to school, they graduated college, and now they just got a teaching job. And frankly, they don't have any more life experience than the 18-year-olds they're teaching. And that's okay. But I think there's a strong value and a strong need for, you know, more experienced educators that have been around a little bit. You know, we need them in there too. And a lot of them are, I think, retiring early, quitting, going to something else because they ain't getting paid shit. Well, Scott Walker was. Wisconsin has had a track record of really crappy governors. Like, welcome to Wisconsin. We have cows, cheese, and a terrible government. Like, every one of them over the past, I don't know how many years, has kind of sucked. But I'll never forget, and you know, this is a funny story. I'm going to get canceled for it, but if fucking Yvonne DeVoe can say it, I can say it. We had to, you know, everybody in school was basically a farmer, basically. And we had this one girl, her mom was super loud and super obnoxious. Kind of, so imagine Daniel, but as a farmer and as a woman. And I'm not saying Daniel's obnoxious, just like loud and talks a lot, right? So if you imagine Daniel as a woman that's a farmer, that's who this lady was. 100%. That's the best way to describe it. Well, she would always just show up at school, and she would just walk in. You know, we didn't have these like metal detectors and shit. You just walked into the school and you did your business, right? Well, she would just walk in, and she always brought like brownies and crap to our, so she would like figure out where we were during the day, and she'd bring a pan of brownies in. I have no idea why she did this. I think it's because she was bored, or just wanted to like stir the pot. The older I get, the more I think she was just stirring the pot, and I can respect that because that's funny. But she brings these brownies in. We're in Spanish class, and we do not like the Spanish teacher. Nobody liked the Spanish teacher because she was one of those annoying Spanish teachers. It's like, you only speak Spanish in my class. Well, none of us spoke any Spanish. Like, we're 16-year-olds in Spanish class. We don't speak Spanish. Like, that's why we're in this class, right? Like, you're telling us that we're not allowed to speak English, but we don't speak Spanish. Like, lady, we can't ask you to use the bathroom. We can't tell you we don't know what we're doing because we don't speak Spanish. That's why we're in Spanish class. Jesus Christ. But we're sitting in Spanish class, not speaking Spanish because we don't know how to speak Spanish because the teacher's doing a terrible job of teaching us how to speak Spanish. And Yvonne DeVoe comes in with a pan of brownies, and she just like swings the door open, like flings it open, it smacks the wall, and she's like, hey guys, I got food. And the damn Spanish teacher's like, you know, in Espanol, por favor. And Yvonne just looks at all of us, she goes, this is America, I don't speak that shit. And starts handing out freaking brownies to everybody. Oh my God, that Spanish teacher was so pissed. Oh my God, she wanted to wring her neck. She was pissed. Oh, she was pissed. I mean, we all thought it was funny because, I mean, we were kids. Appropriate or not, it was funny because we were kids, right? Oh, she was so mad. Oh, she was so mad the rest of the day. And Yvonne never brought brownies back to us when we were in Spanish class because I think somebody said something to her. So she always waited until we were out of Spanish class to bring the brownies back. It was actually, it was, I don't know. I died. Everybody died laughing. Like, just like, you gotta be kidding me. It was, the brownies were good. She was always good for it. But there was something going on with that Spanish teacher because somebody, and this made no sense, but we had somebody in like a grade below us whose dad or mom or something was from Mexico and spoke Spanish, like native Spanish. And when this story got told to like their parents or whatever, their parents' response was, well, she's not wrong, and your Spanish teacher sucks because most of the stuff she's teaching you is wrong. That's not how you speak Spanish. Like the grammar or something was all wrong. So then we had these native Spanish speakers that were like, this is garbage. And then I'm like, they're actually right, because we started looking stuff up and we're like, she's teaching us this all wrong. Like, this isn't, because like when you speak Spanish, like there's all sorts of different like grammar rules, and it's kind of a complicated language or whatever. And we're like, she's wrong. So then some of us were like, hey, you know, Senorita, whatever your name was, lady, we think that you're wrong because we read it in the book and I think you're wrong. And then she would just start rattling something off in Spanish, and I will never forget. So this kid, he's a cop now, and I'm sure he's a very good cop, but he was sitting right next to me, and we looked at each other, and he never spoke up. He was very quiet. And he's like, hey, you're telling us this, but it's actually this. And he just paused, and he goes, somebody who actually speaks Spanish says that your Spanish is wrong. Because he had just had enough of this lady, and it was hilarious. And everybody's quiet because they're like, oh shit, he said something. This ain't gonna be good. Somebody's gonna get like thrown in freaking school jail here. And she starts rattling off in something in Spanish, like no English in here, no English or whatever. And he goes, U-L-R-L wrongo L, and this is L-Y-O, you are wrongo. And she got so freaking pissed. And of course I couldn't keep my mouth shut, so I got in on that. And I was like, hey, he's not being a jerk. Like, he's legitimately correct. I'm like, if you look at the book, it says that because this is like a masculine noun or whatever, that we're supposed to say it this way, but you're telling us to say it this way, but that's wrong. And I was like, the tests come from the book, so you're telling us wrong, and then we're going to fail the tests. And then this is what got me sent to the office. I said, this is a scam. And I said, we can learn more by using Google Translate. So why don't we just start Google Translating shit and memorizing crap off of Google Translate? She threw her book down and still didn't break character. She was screaming at us in Spanish to get the F out of her classroom and go to the damn office. So we walked to the office, and the principal's gone. Thank God. She was rancid. Horrible, wretched woman. But the office lady was the mom of one of the kids in class who was a total shit starter, and her name was Tracy. So we walk up there, and we walk up to the window, and the guy that I walked up there with goes, hey, Tracy, you're going to get a phone call. And she goes, I already got it. And we walk in there, and she's like, so what happened? And we're like, well, we got thrown out because we questioned the Spanish teacher, and we told her in more or less words that Google Translate would teach us more Spanish than she does. And she goes, okay, well, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do, so do you just want to like hang out up here, or what do you want to do? And we're like, yeah, I guess we'll just like not go back to Spanish class today. So we went down to the gym and played basketball for the next 45 minutes. And I don't think that's what the Spanish teacher meant by go to the office, but that's 100% how we interpreted it. And we just went screwed around for the rest of the class. Like, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I really wasn't. But I was like, you legitimately are teaching us something that's wrong. I don't speak Spanish, but this book tells me how to speak it, and you are literally telling us the opposite. Like, and I know very little Spanish people. Very little. But I know that if it like ends in O or has L in front of it, it's like a masculine noun or whatever. And it requires different, like you have to, it's a different grammatical rule than if it's like a feminine with like la in front of it or something. Like, I do know that. And she was literally teaching us the exact opposite. And I'm just like, you are wrong. And this other kid's like, you're wrong. And I was like, you're wrong. And then the kid in the other class, whose mom or dad or whatever was from Mexico and speaks Spanish fluently as their primary language, was like, you're wrong. And I'm like, that's 3 people now and a book saying you're wrong, and Google Translate says you're wrong. Like, you're wrong. Accept it. You're wrong. It's a scam. You're scamming us. You're setting us up to fail the test because the test comes from the book. The test is correct, so you are teaching us to fail. And that's basically what we said. I failed Spanish class. Me and 6 other people, we failed Spanish class. But there was actually a point. So I tried to learn Spanish in 2018 because I was actually running into a lot of people that only spoke Spanish. Like in car accidents and stuff, and we had a lot of Spanish-only speaking people. And nobody could speak Spanish and communicate with them. And I'm like, well, how hard can it be? So I started like watching videos and stuff of how to speak Spanish, and I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be easy. I can probably learn to speak Spanish in like a week here, right? No, I gave up after like a month. I tried really hard for a month, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I'm sure if I actually had like a Spanish teacher, I probably could have figured it out, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't learn it on my own. Because nobody else in the area spoke Spanish, and like if we had to translate, we'd have to call a phone number and have somebody translate on the phone, and when somebody's screaming in pain or dying, that doesn't always work. And I was just like, well, screw it, I'll just learn Spanish. You know, that'll solve the problem, right? Wrong. I couldn't figure it out. I gave up. I tried very hard, and then I was just like, this ain't happening. I have some sort of mental block. It's just not gonna work. Well, I also failed Spanish because I told the teacher she was bad at her job. I think that was part of it too. I don't think the fact that I was wrong or the fact that I sucked at Spanish was the only reason. I think the big reason was we told the teacher she didn't know what she was doing. I really do need to learn Spanish at some point, though, at least enough to communicate, because I am running into a lot of people that don't speak English. And that's a very political thing right now, where everybody's like, you need to speak English, this is America. Well, let's not jump to conclusions, because I stopped at a car accident a couple of weeks ago, a really bad car accident, and it was a car full of Mexican people that were on vacation. Like, they were literally here to go to, like, Dallas, Texas or something, because they had some person or cousin or something that moved up here, like, immigrated to the U.S. and started a family up here, and they were visiting him on vacation, and not a single one of them spoke English. I don't think that it's right to say, well, if you're going to even vacation, like, that's like me going to France and telling me that I have to speak French. But that's not going to happen, but I'm still going to go there. So, like, let's not jump to conclusions, right? And, like, there was a car full of Mexican people that were on vacation, and one of them pulled out ChatGPT and started talking to ChatGPT to translate it to me, and it actually worked very well. And it's like, one of these days I'm just going to learn Spanish, because I'm going to have to. I mean, we come across this quite a bit where somebody doesn't speak English, and I don't have a way to translate it because there's no internet or something, you're in a hurry, and it just solved the problem the easiest way. But I just can't seem to learn another language. I tried really hard a couple years ago and it just didn't work. But I don't know. I'm pissed off at Mexico. They had the tornado of the year. That damn tornado in Mexico west of Del Rio a couple weeks ago, that was probably tornado of the year for Mexico. Enid was probably ours up here, but dang, the video of that thing, so I got a bone to pick with Mexico for that. That should have been ours. All right, we are now in the special weather statement. Strong thunderstorm, oh my God. Happening now. Well, that's true. So, you know, I drive all over the country, so I get to interact with a mixed bag of people. But I run into a lot of people that don't speak English or Spanish. I've run into a lot of French speakers. Even storm chasing. There's a lot of foreign people that come over. There's this little Japanese dude, and he's super cool. And I got his business card. I need to find it. His business card's in Japanese, so I gotta like have Grok translate it. But this dude is super cool. He doesn't speak much English, but he speaks enough to like communicate with you. Like, you can talk to him. You know, there's some language barrier, but you can talk to him. And my understanding from what he was saying was the only reason he learned English was because he comes to the United States to storm chase, and he needs to be able to like book a hotel and shit. But this dude comes over from Japan, and he's rattling. I ran into him a couple weeks ago before he left, and he's just rattling off in Japanese on the phone with somebody, and I'm just like, there's no way I could ever speak that language. Like, that's way too fast. It just sounds like words and like mush. Like, I don't know how anybody, like, more power to him, I guess, but there's a lot of foreign people that come over and chase storms. There's the Germans. The Germans barely don't speak a lot of English either. They speak enough, but they all speak German, right? They're from Germany. I can't really talk to them because I don't speak German, but there's a lot of, when it comes to storm chasing, there's a lot of foreign people where English is like their third or fourth language, and they can tell you that there's a tornado warning, and the other thing that all of them can say is the price of gas is bullshit. They're all good at saying that too. That's like a common thing, but there's a lot of people that come from other countries that speak totally different languages that would take years to learn. But that guy from Japan was really nice. He came up to us when we were launching weather balloons, and there's a little bit of a language barrier, obviously. So which I give the guy a lot of credit, because even though English isn't his primary language, he still comes up and he will come talk to you, like, even though, because sometimes with people, there's a language barrier, they don't want to talk at all, but like he will go out of his way, which I think is kind of nice. But really nice guy. But he came up to us, we were launching a weather balloon somewhere, Nebraska or something, I don't know. But he wanted to know something about it, and when I realized, I'm like, "Are you from Japan?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, "I know who you are. You're on Twitter." And I pull up his Twitter page, and I was like, "I know who you are. You're on Twitter." And he had no idea what I said. So I pulled up his Twitter page and I showed it to him. Like, "Is this you?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's me." And I'm like, "Okay." And he gave me his business card, and I gave him a couple patches and stuff, and I told him, like, anytime, stop by. I mean, really nice guy, but spends like a month over here every year to just rent a car, drive around and chase storms, and then go back to work in Japan or whatever. But there's a lot of people that come from other countries. You guys would be surprised. It's not just Australia and Canada, it's everywhere. AirPods do that. You're right. They do. I think Apple Watch will too. So, I was requested to be a consultant, a weather consultant for something. It's a story for another day, but I had to travel to Dubai to do it. I am such a fucking idiot that I thought that Dubai was the capital of India. Dubai is in a completely different country than India. Hello? Hello? I think that's Kangaroo 1. Nope, it's that. Did you just beep? Okay, standing by. Apparently Dubai is in a totally different country. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Well, I found out that it's illegal to swear in Dubai. Like, even in private, it's apparently illegal to swear. And then I was like, you know what? This just isn't going to work out. I can't do this because I'm going to get, like, arrested and thrown in, like, the United Arab Emirates jail or whatever, and then I'll die over there. So we're not going over there.
That's better. Finally connected Wi-Fi had an issue. Kangaroo 1 online, how did you guys do yesterday?
Blue sky bust.
At least my window works.
My window's working again, by the way. The crappy time for it to break down. I was like, oh god. I don't understand, but there was a good supercell like in sort of western Nebraska. Didn't you chase that?
Hey Daniel, I think it's time for you to go home.
You okay, Vince? You don't sound yourself.
No, Daniel, I'm not okay. I sat in Sydney, Nebraska for 6 hours. Nothing happened. And then I pull up your damn live stream and you're sitting there taking photo of the year with a goddamn tractor. I'm not okay. I need a hug.
Vince, I'm a little worried. Like, I'm not sure if you're joking or if you're struggling a bit, because it's been tough out here.
No, dude, I'm 100% being a smart ass, but it is true. We absolutely were beating our head against the window yesterday. And then I open up your stream, and I'm like, well, that would have been where we should have went. And then we started driving east, and we get to like Lincoln, and it's like, oh look, a supercell. Like, oh, cool. Let's just go bury my head in the sand now.
I thought you would have waited to like 0Z for the initiation because you had storms forecast for your area. It was just going to be a very late play.
We stayed in the same spot until well after the forms were forecasted to initiate.
Yeah, it was just it was really dry. Way drier than it was supposed to be, like standing outside. You just knew that it wasn't going to happen. I mean, there was that big blob of supercell thing, but it tried like 3 times to get storms going down there by Sydney, and it failed every time. We thought it was going to do it though.
Well, here's a good news. Were you in Sydney the night beforehand?
Yeah.
I'm curious as to know, I mean, because SPC did a 10% upgrade, but it was 5% earlier. Not that I'd really trusted the 5% anyway. Oh, no, I just realised I went to sleep in South Dakota, not North Dakota. I was right on the border. I'm surprised you didn't come up. Is it just because it's too far for Zach to go home, or just the forecast decision? Why didn't you go north?
Because I have like 1,005 things to do, and if I miss one day, then I won't miss 10. But if I go up there and then I can't get home in time for the next one, then I end up missing more days than if I just miss one. Like, I'm out of supplies, so if I don't get home, then when I go home I might miss a better day. At least that's how it's supposed to work.
Not this year. This year, curveballs left, right, and centre, and you just had to be just lucky or early or in the wrong place or at a crappy hotel and went, oh, let's pick this target instead, and off you went. It's been a tough year.
We almost left yesterday morning to drop south to Texas for, well, I guess it was today's risk. But I was like, dude, if we're going to go, we need to go now. And then we didn't. So I wonder what'll happen down there now.
Is it risk in Texas today? It's less than 2% across the whole country.
Yeah, there was a marginal down there. I think it was today. Maybe it was tomorrow. I can't remember. There was a marginal in the Panhandle, though.
It is the most marginal you've ever seen. It would be C-text. It's crap. But no, we definitely thought about it.
North Dakota, but it's going to be a very early play tomorrow. There's going to be a weird setup that starts at 06Z in the morning. It's going to go away. It's a weird one. It's like an overnight morning storm that goes across 2 states.
Good line of sight.
FYI,
She just entered planes or went off the road and then just went into
I'm streaming. Just forgot to tell everybody, but everybody says hello, Daniel. They're very excited to see you. They liked your tractor. So you've got one more chase left then, right? Like you're going for tomorrow, or do you have to drive back?
Sorry, dude. I thought it was a private call. I didn't realize you was. What are you streaming?
Be sorry about nothing. Like there's nothing happening whatsoever. He broke the boringness. I'm streaming a very intense special weather statement for 30-mile-per-hour wind, and it's getting really dangerous out here. I mean, this could be the storm of the century right now. I got sprinkles and 15-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? You're going to get struck by lightning on the most pathetic storm there is of the season, and it's going to disable the car.
Oh, it'll be something even dumber than that. Like, a rock will fall from the sky.
Could get a meteor.
As long as it's on video, I think that we could pay back the damages from the content. So are you going to North Dakota, or do you got to turn around?
Oh no, I'm driving up there now. I'm just having an easy day drive. Good, really good sleep. I got a good 7 3/4 hour sleep actually. Really, really well rested, which is needed. Because I've like the logistics to get back home and nothing quite like coming over, but there's a lot involved in driving across the country, packing down the car. Thank God Teddy's looks after the car. Just go, there's the keys, done. That's it. It is that quick. He's just an angel. But yeah, it's still 8 hours per day. Fairly easy drives just on interstates to get home. That's a pretty drive. And yes, yeah, I'm chasing northeast North Dakota, Minnesota area tomorrow. I'd be up there if I were you, but it's going to be an early play.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, if I go up there, I mean, I could miss. I mean, I might not have a job, even though I am the boss, but I just... There's, it looks like we're going to get, like, a Midwest pattern for a week or so I might not have to even go anywhere other than a few hours. See, I'm in Iowa, and I just woke up to a slight risk out here. And I was like, well, okay, because I was going to go to Des Moines last night, but the hotels were overpriced, so I went about 30 minutes east of Des Moines and woke up and there's a slight risk. And there was like 7 severe thunderstorm warnings, and I thought, oh shoot, better go after it. And as soon as I get in the car, they cancel all the severe thunderstorm warnings, and it just died.
Hey, well, I'm curious, why are you not going up north? Because it's not too far away from your home.
I just have too much to get done in too little time, and if I go up there, then if I don't get back and get supplies and get things put together, then that means I gotta wait another week or two, and then I have to do it in a week or two, and I might miss much longer. You know, because I don't even have any supplies out here to do what I need to do now. So I'd rather miss a day and restock and be able to do what I need to do out here versus not, and then end up getting sucked farther and farther west, and then it just can't even get back to get them, kind of thing.
Well, here's the thing, you're in Iowa now, yes?
Yeah, I'm not far from Cedar Rapids, I don't think.
Can I make a suggestion? go home, get your supplies, and head north.
Date of birth is 1955, 425.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be home until 4, and then it's 14 hours up there, so pass on that. It takes an incredible amount of time to get up through Minnesota for me. I don't know why. Like, Minnesota doesn't look like that big of a state, but for me to get to Fargo is like 13 hours. It's actually longer for me to get to Fargo, North Dakota than it is for me to get to El Reno or Oklahoma City, but it looks way closer. I don't know why it takes so long to get like diagonal across Wisconsin and Minnesota.
It's a drive. It's deceiving on the map. Central Minnesota will be fine. It's an early play though. Again, it's entirely up to you, but it's within reach. But I know you've got so many work commitments that take you away from storms. It's a balance, and even with the stuff I do, it's fatigue management. And that's why sometimes I have to miss things. We've got work back at home, and I do the best I can to balance it all very, very carefully. That's why when we do have two down days, it's a good thing.
Well, I'm glad yesterday ended up being a good day for you, because it really wasn't looking that good when it started, and then it ended up being decent. So at least that was ended up being a good day. Like, I'm sure it's a lot easier to go home after you've had, you know, a couple of decent days. Like, because if yesterday would have been a nothing, a big bust, I'm sure that's kind of not super great. So at least you've got something, because I mean, it really has been a weird year, because since, like, I mean, you had Enid, but usually there's multiple Enids, and honestly Enid was quite a while ago.
Usually, well, no, there's been some good tornadoes. I know the count's at least 15. Technically, if you want to count everything, maybe 20 something. As I said, I don't count, because it'll just drive you insane. Just trying to work out what it'll spin up and God knows what. So there's 15 confirmed. It's likely more, but just yeah, too hard to work out. But Enid, I still can't believe I had to myself. I cannot believe no one else came down that road.
And to think that was in April.
God, that was in April. You're right, that was. Because May was that St. Liberty or whatever it was. Honestly, I think that St. Liberty tornado was the last one that I have like a picture of, like a kind of a like strong looking tornado. I don't think that I've had anything since. A lot of structure, which is fine, but this is not the year of the tornado.
You did really, really well on St. Liberty. I wish I was closer to it. I just played downstream waiting, just vacuum fatigue management, well, the veteran safety and stuff.
Well, it didn't look like that for very long. That was pretty much just luck. We didn't expect it, because Taylor was behind me, and I don't think either of us expected it to do that. We were more so repositioning to go east, and then it just happened, and we got lucky that we were on a road where there was nobody behind us, so we could just stop. Because there was no shoulder, so you couldn't pull over. Like, if there would have been people behind us, we wouldn't have been able to stop, and we would have missed it. So we got very fortunate, very lucky on that one. I mean, that was really no skill involved. That was just one of those where you just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Because I didn't think it was going to tornado, and then it just happened, and then it got rain wrapped. And I definitely did not want to get hit by it, so that's when we peeled out of there. Because when you guys had it as like a big wide cone or wedge looking thing, we couldn't even see it. Like, with the contrast and everything, like, you guys a mile outside of it had a better view of it at that point than we did. I couldn't even tell if it was down in there.
Zach, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're about 4.5 miles from it on that good paved road option, because we had unknown dirt roads. Am I correct?
I don't think it was quite full 4. I think it was like 3. But yeah, I was in a good enough position that I got to see the entire life cycle from start to end without moving, so it worked out.
Yeah, no, I got partial life cycle. I mean, the rear camera got it, but I'm watching the road carefully. And it happened very, very quickly, and I went. There was so many chases on it. I even encountered a bit of traffic like ahead downstream, so I just played downstream. I was expecting to go a lot longer, and had it been that case, we would have been right in position. But that one, you just had to be right place, right time, lucky. But Vince, you nailed it. You did great.
Yeah, yesterday I wish I would have been up there because I pulled up your stream after I started mine. Because everybody in the chat was like, oh my god, Daniel's having window problems. And my first thought was, oh god, not the driver's side door again. And I pulled it up, I think right as you got something fixed and you got out with the camera, and the shelf cloud was really nice. So I was jealous, but that turned out pretty good. But we had a good week in Colorado this past week, so I'm kind of happy with the back half of the season. I wasn't super happy with the first half, but this back half I've been kind of happy with. Because I'll take the structure out here over 60-mile-an-hour tornadoes in southern Illinois. So I'm glad we got this, because if we wouldn't have had this eastern Colorado high plain stuff over the past week, I'd really be wondering where everything went.
Well, here's a quick question for Zach. Is that the first time you've chased Colorado? And if so, how do you like it?
No, it's not the first time I've chased Colorado.
I think Daniel's sad to go home.
Into Colorado.
I'm getting the impression that he's really like depressed to go home here, and I feel really bad. Because I think he wants us to go up there with him, and I kind of
like Eastern Colorado. It's really nice.
I mean, I would love to go up there if I could, but I feel really bad. I hope you guys watch his stream tomorrow, because I think he feels bad to go home.
I wish you guys stuck it out a little while longer.
I think I don't think he wants to go home.
He got a cone.
That's honestly just my impression, and I get it.
It disturbed a few ants. When Roger Hill goes, I think I got something, he's, no, because I mean, Roger will call it for what it is. He knows what he's looking at. It was a cone, but it was kind of more of a funnel looking thing. Nothing I missed, but I couldn't believe my one went tornado one. Boundary interaction, it kind of just held there. It was quite pretty, and then it dissipated. It was just a nice chase, and I made it to Cheyenne, Wyoming for the night. And lucky, the hotel I picked, I thought it was built on the old Best Western hitching post inn location, which was haunted. And I just went, oh god. And I found out from the front desk, no, that was a bit further down the road, so I wasn't haunted that night. It was good.
Well, yeah, but we had the LP structure of the month. We had a rain shower with like an updraft and like a wall cloud and all sorts of stuff. It was pretty cool for 10 minutes. But yeah, we should have stayed south.
I did see that. That was a pretty photo. I know this year's been hard. It's trying for everyone. If I didn't have Edith, this year would have been tough. But the best part, just remember, we had fun times. We got to help some good people. I'm most proud of the chase. I'm most proud of wasn't Edith. It was Mississippi and working with your Mississippi and really looking after those people. You did a great job of that. Don't forget that. I know it can be hard out there, and I'm sure your viewers are listening and going, it's tough out there, and it's very competitive. Just I know what you did that night.
Damn, did you see that?
You did that night, and that lady survived because of it.
There's 1,000 people in the chat right now, and they're all saying that you are not allowed to go home. You need to stay. So we'll have to start a countdown here. It's not countdown to New Year's. It's like countdown to the Daniel invasion of 2027.
whereas I stream back in Australia and there's kangaroos and the difference with Australia, you can't just jump out of the car, go, oh, pretty good. You have to look around for like venomous snakes and stuff that can kill you in the middle of nowhere. You got to be, you got to watch what's around you. I've only ever I've come across venomous snakes a number of times, but not actually. I think only once on a chase, and it was at like a distance away. It was fine, and not when I was live streaming, just early days. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but you do come across a lot of kangaroos, and they are adorable. So yeah, so that'll be fun. But you'll be in winter, and I'll be chasing summer storms. It'll be fun. But as I was saying again, I'll say it clear and clear because you didn't react to it. The one chase I'm most proud of wasn't Enid. It was Mississippi, where we didn't even see the tornado. We came in, and we did a good job.
Yeah, I'm glad you were there. Good timing. Honest, I mean, really. I mean, we were pretty much just sat there and waited for it. And that's about all you can do. I mean, because, you never know. I mean, that tornado could have been anywhere in that spot. So, I mean, you can only just kind of sit there and wait. But no, it went by fast. I was thinking about that. It's like, shoot, Enid, that was a long time ago. And then you think about Mississippi, and that was like the first week of May. I mean, it went by fast, but it seems like it was a long time ago. Because when you got here at the end of March, the day that you got here, we had a blizzard warning in Wisconsin, and I was in a snowstorm. And that feels like years ago, but it was only a few months ago. But at the same time, it seems like it went really fast.
It feels like it was yesterday. I've had a good season. Got to see all my friends. Did some good work. Entertained a lot of people. Helped a lot of people learn radar. I think the best thing you're doing and I'm doing is understanding of storms. And that needs to keep happening. People need to be self-sufficient, in my view. And when I say watch us, albeit for entertainment or information, I think it's really important people start to learn and understand radar so they can fend for themselves to make that split-second decision where a third party is just not going to make it in time. Would you agree?
No, I completely agree. I mean, there's not a whole lot of storm decision education to be found out there. I mean, there's really not. I mean, you can figure out how to look at radar, but there's more to it than that.
When you see the best in the world, like 40 years of experience, and say at the end of the night goes, oh, that was weird. The best in the world. And the thousands of years of storm chasing experience just sit there and drive around circles going, I don't know what to do. How the hell does a mother or a father with kids in their car, when their tornado warning goes off in their car, when they're at home, they at least have a plan or an idea. But when they're on the road, it's just all panic stations. For us, it can be panic stations when weird things happen. What hell of a chance do they have if they don't understand? Forget storm spotting, if you do a Skywarn class, that'd still be screwed. Some storms, I mean, as I said, scare the living crap out of me. And we know when to run, and we make that decision quickly. A family with a mum and dad on board, kids screaming, going, Mommy, God. And the answer could be yes. What chance do they have when the best in the world sometimes get it wrong or misinterpret it when literally seconds count?
No, I agree with what you're getting at. Maybe, honestly, maybe you should, I know you're busy, but someday, if you ever get time, you should make like a video series. I mean, which you already kind of do, but of storm chasing decision making. Which, I mean, you do that with your storm chasing videos. So, I mean, it's not that you don't do it, but I don't know, you almost need like a 5-part series or something. You'd be a good person to do that. You do a good job of explaining this stuff. Probably better than anybody else does, honestly.
Yeah, but every single storm's different. It's not like here's your hook echo, here's your inflow, and here's your outflow, there's your RFD, there's the storm motion, off you go. Look what happened in Texas boundary collisions, chaos theory. I say it often. Rat traps in a fish tank with ping pong balls. Forecast that.
What the fuck?
But that's what we're doing in real time. Literally watching look at that hybrid tornado. Credit to Roger Edwards about that one. So, what was that thing? I had to ask because good question. Hybrid land spout mesoparcel. It was a hybrid supercell which formed instantly with 5 collisions of boundaries running into it. Because that was a weird one, and that's what it was. It wasn't very strong. But again, look what happened on Pilgrim. Outflow boundary triggered nuclear ingredients. That stuff goes up quickly, but some storms it's easy to navigate and dodge. And some days, like Turkey, Texas, maybe 9 years ago, storms, everything filled in, and it was run for your life, and you couldn't. You didn't have the road network, and you had to literally thread the needle and escape west as fast as you could without being gobbled up. And I spoke to storm chasers that day, or the day after, go, oh yeah, that was awesome, yeah, best chase. And like, I won't say the names. And like 7 years later, they went, we thought we were going to die. We were scared shitless, and we're going to die. But on the day, or the day after, oh, that was awesome. Truth comes out a lot later. It scared the shit out of me, and I ran. I find out 7 years later, good decision.
God dang it, Daniel. We're gonna miss you for 9 months. We get kind of used to this.
So I'm not trying to speech thing. I'm just calling it for what it is. It's cool to be scared of storms. Just make the decision in 30 seconds to a minute. And parking under a bridge is not going to help you. Remember the other day in Colorado, I stopped my car in front of all the cars parked under the bridge. 3.5-inch hail at 80 miles an hour. Parking under a bridge is not going to help you. It's coming in sideways. Like, where do we go? Blue sky behind you. Switch on your radar. We don't have any. Well, now's a good time to put them in. I'm going south. See you later. And like they all started they left the bridge. They were all screwed. I watched the hail ball go over where they were. They would have got smashed to pieces under the bridge. Sideways hail, 3.5-inch hail at 85 miles an hour, or whatever the hell hit that big, scary storm. The one that actually did drop a tornado in the rain. That was a scary hailstorm. And apparently, people actually, I think there was one chaser that lost their back window just due to the outflow winds with the rocks being thrown up just on the outflow winds.
Oh yeah, most of the times that I've lost windows, it's been from like the little rocks and pieces of sand or whatever, I think. It seems like that's happened to me more than hail, but yeah, this has been a weird year for complex storms, really. I mean, it goes back to that goofy tornado thing that happened in the wrong place, and I guess it was just north of Lubbock, wasn't it? That Panhandle day, where there was a storm moving left, a storm moving right, and there was one not moving, and then one going sideways. Like that was just, it's like, where do you even go? Because I was on the other side of that big hailstorm. I couldn't get over there, and that's when everyone said, oh, Daniel's got a tornado, and I'm just like, there's no way there's a tornado on that. And then I opened your stream, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess there is. Well, we're on the wrong side of the hail, and I'm not driving through softballs, so I guess we're gonna not do that. We're gonna go the other way.
Yeah, well, the supercell hybrid landspouty thing, I'll call it a thing because that's what it was. 4 scans. Went dun, tornado. That's it. That happened in 12 minutes. 12 to 14 minutes from nothing.
14.
No, sorry, 12 to 16 minutes. It was dropping a tornado from nothing.
Yeah, which was really interesting because I remember I looked at radar and the velocity was really strong. Like, I couldn't believe it because if you looked at reflectivity and you wouldn't think anything of it, but you looked at velocity, and I mean there was really intense mesocyclone. That's why I just couldn't believe it. Like I was confused. I remember telling people, it's like I don't even understand. This makes no sense, because it really didn't. Like at the time, it didn't make any sense.
As I said, the best in the world. 5 outflow boundaries collided into each other. One boundary created the storm from nothing. It went from to, oh hey look, I'm a storm, whee, tornado. That's what it did. And boundaries just, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen on radar. And I was playing the 2 outflow boundaries on the other storm that created the land spouts. And then those boundaries collided into the other one with 2 other boundaries, with the other boundary that formed the storm, with the 4 other boundaries smashing into that one, and bang, hybrid land spout mesocyclonic thing. By forecasting that on the HRRR, you will never, ever see that on the HRRR.
Daniel, I think I'm boycotting the HRRR for at least a month. It has screwed me several times. I don't trust it. It's not on my good side. It's dead to me for the whole month of July.
Okay, you've still got 1,000 viewers right now, is that correct?
1,063.
Okay, 1,063 viewers. Let's place a bet. I bet everyone, and I'm going to lose this bet, that Vince will use the HRRR in 30 days. I've already won the bet. Just need to say more. Everyone agreed to say Daniel was right. Just put in comments, and Vince will go, damn you.
Oh, you're 100% correct, because as soon as I get back home, that's probably the first thing that I'm going to look at. I actually have a giant TV in the office / garage, warehouse, whatever, where oftentimes the HRRR just lives. However, tomorrow it will be your live stream that will live on the giant television, because I am absolutely going to watch that. Because I think something good is going. I think tomorrow's going to be a good day up there. I really think that you're going to get something. I just hope that it doesn't end up in Canada. I don't think it will, though.
From a Commonwealth country, they'll let me in. They like just across the border. They say, "Welcome home." It's like, God save the king.
Do they ever question the car up there, or do they just wave you through and not even notice?
No, they look at the car and they say, "What do you do?" Oh, storm chaser. It's so blatantly obvious. And when I get back to America, they just say, "Welcome home." It's. I feel at home. I have 3 homes: Canada, America, and here. But home is where my friends are. My friends are everywhere. Home is where you make it.
I think that was a compliment. I think we just got called friends, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that was a compliment. I'm kidding, it's a joke. But Canada's always, that time I went up there, they were friendly. It was the Americans that were really mean to me when I came back, but the Canadians were super nice. I mean, Wisconsin's almost Canada, so I'm like 50% Canada. Not quite, but I'm like honorary. Like, they didn't give me like a badge or anything, but I feel like I should get a t-shirt, like honorary Canadian for the day.
Let's get my little badge that has a little crown on it. It's very pretty. You don't get one because you're an American. You told the crown to go to hell, and you celebrate it with fireworks on the 4th of July. Hooray!
Speaking of which, I think I need to go pick up some fireworks on the way home, because this stuff's gonna start getting sold out here. Because we have our Go Get Stuffed celebration coming up in like 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, whatever. 7 days, I guess.
Well, see, I've never left on 4th of July, so I mean, provided the plane, actually the Qantas plane, the QF11, on its landing at LAX, I saw this on Facebook, actually had to do an aborted landing. There was like too much wind or something, and they took back off again. So as I leave the country, it's like, go home, Daniel, get lost, and they celebrate with fireworks. I think it's kind of big.
I know, 2 things to celebrate in one day. I'm kidding. No, we'll miss you for 9 months. I'm really a little bit disgusted, and I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get over it or if I'm just going to hold the grudge for a while, but we did not coordinate a cookie challenge. And this is a problem. We should have done that sooner. We really dropped the ball on the cookie challenge.
For the love of God, go home, get your supplies, and drive. It's 1:14 p.m. Head north. That way you can say goodbye and do a cookie challenge.
Well, I think Gherkin's up there. He can fill in for me. I mean, he should know the procedure still.
Not the same, you know. What, do you need like a super channel 2 to get your ass up there? I'm going.
Are you telling me that I'm better at the cookie challenge than Corey? Does that also mean that I'm better at it than Diane? Because she was there too.
I will buy you the whole Subway sandwich and the cookies if you get your ass to North Dakota or Minnesota. Just, like, go. Just pick up your helium and things and go. You're in Iowa. Just 4 hours. You're home. 3 hours. Drive. Drive to midnight. Do some work. Sleep. Up. Chase. Cookie.
I like how you present that as if it's like a mission briefing. Like it's very well thought out.
Dude, the word cookie is in the sentence or paragraph or statement or whatever it is. It's like a Jerry Maguire mission statement. Look to the cookie. Actually, that's from Seinfeld. Never mind.
You know, I think we forgot to do it last year too. We haven't been very good at this. Because we didn't do it last year either. We forgot. I'm still disappointed in that whole situation, you know, because what was it, like 19 seconds for all 3 cookies? Like, I totally got hosed on that because I think I bet like 7 minutes.
The bet was how quickly can we order cookies and pay for them in Subway. You said 9 minutes, it was 34 seconds.
I told Zach that too. I said, you know, we passed that Subway at the Loves 2 days ago. I said, we should have stopped. We could have done a cookie challenge. But we forgot. Whoops. I should have done better.
Okay, all seriousness aside, as Hank would say, trademark, 1997. Okay, I won't beg, but for the love of God, please drive north, pick up your supplies, and chase the last 5% of the season before it starts snowing.
It's June 28th. It starts snowing in like November. I would love to. It's highly unlikely, but I wish I could get up there. I would have told you to get stuffed on the side of the road in Lyman the other day if I would have known that was the last time that I was going to run into you this season. I would have had something really, really well thought out and witty to say, or something interesting. Like that would have been more interesting than zooming in on my microphone and making swooshing noises in my microphone. Like I would have had it all planned out and everything. Would have had an agenda.
I still can't believe there's 1,000 people watching you chase rain.
I just can't believe that we had like 6 or 7 severe thunderstorm warnings, one of which was for like 2-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. And then the second I get in the car, it dies. I mean, come on. I had it all planned out. I was like, oh wow, I better go. Got the stream going, everything. Go sit in the car, gone. Like, come on.
I wish you're up north. There was a tornado apparently, but just the shelf clouds looked a lot better in my view. It was fun, and I had a tractor as well. It was quite pretty.
Well, yeah, that's when I pulled it up, and that was a good picture. But I haven't seen, like, I don't think I've been to North Dakota. Well, no, I guess last year, because we were up by Minot and the missile silos and everything. But I haven't really spent much time up there. I mean, we were up there a couple of days this year, but I haven't done much with northern Minnesota, North Dakota, any of that for quite some time. Montana, I haven't been in Montana for 3 years.
Montana is very, very pretty. One of the best chases actually was in Canada, and it wasn't a storm. It was a solar storm, the Aurora, and I got this great shot of the RAV with a really, like a proper Aurora with pillars and everything. It was good. I know you got like 2,500 views on YouTube, but yeah, well, because it's obviously people want to see tornadoes, not auroras. But it was a great time lapse, all done with SLR or mirrorless, I should say. Got them all, and it looked bloody fantastic, and it was a great Aurora. I got a lovely shot of the RAV with all the lights behind it. It was very pretty.
Daniel, I just had a random idea that I need you to do for me.
Oh God, no! Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna wire you the money after you get home. I need you to bring me back Abe's baby kangaroo.
Like a real one? Pretty sure both the Australian immigration and US immigration is going to have some issues with that.
I mean, they've got to get here somehow. They're already here. I just want one from Australia. Yes, like a real one. Like, bring it. Put it in your pocket. Bring it to me.
Okay, let me just clarify this for the public record and Vince's live public stream. You want me to smuggle, as an Australian, a baby kangaroo, steal it from the mum, stick it in a suitcase, and bring it to you in Tennessee because you want a baby kangaroo? Am I hearing you correctly?
Absolutely, without the shadow of a doubt.
Mental note, do not come to Australia anytime soon. You're not welcome. Said baby adorable kangaroo belongs in mum's Joey's pouchy thing. Yeah, not happening. I will get you a stuffed one that is made proudly in China from Sydney and bring it over, and you can have that on your desk and you can pat it and love it and go, oh, little baby kangaroo would be adorable. But that isn't called importation of a live animal. That's just a Chinese-made, Australian branded kangaroo. That I'll do for you because that's illegal, as opposed to your idea of stealing a baby kangaroo from mum.
Well, it's not stealing if I pay for it.
Yeah, anything to declare? Vegemite, Tim Tams, kangaroo. Funny story, when I actually got through, when I got to LAX immigration, anything to declare? No, not any food. I said, oh yeah, I got Tim Tams and Vegemite. And there was two of them, because one was in training. He goes, well, I know what Tim Tams are, but what's Vegemite? I said, and the guy next to him, the guy in training just pisses himself laughing. He knows. This is laughing. I said, it's like peanut butter, but really salty. And I could just have a good trip. Off he went. Welcome back.
Yeah, I think Zach needs to try that next year. I mean, I was tortured and forced to do it, so he should too.
Yeah, but Diane gave you a whole spoonful, like a tablespoonful. That's no different to running it through an IV line. Okay, well, it is different, but same effect.
And I'll try it. I'm sure I've had worse. It can't be that bad.
Yeah, it can.
Hang on, Vince, you still got the jar of Vegemite at home, don't you?
Yeah, you can actually buy it on Amazon. So somebody must be like smuggling it out of like Woolworth or whatever that place is that's supposed. Because aren't they supposed to be the only people that sell it?
Dude, you can get Vegemite from a rundown abandoned gas station in the middle of nowhere in Australia.
Oh, I thought it was like a Woolworth exclusive or something. Well, whatever. Zach, it's like tar with soy sauce on it. Like if you take tar off of the road and then put some salt and soy sauce on it, that's what it tastes like.
You're close, but not really. It's actually really good. But you got to do it in moderation with butter on toast. That's what it does. You don't go lay down the tar like you're building a road that's going to last like 80 years. You build a road that is going to be like falling apart in like 2 days. That's how much Vegemite you need to apply. There's any Australians listening to this that are pissing themselves laughing.
So why so little though? You said it's like peanut butter. Like, I mean, you put peanut butter on toast or bread, you like cake it on.
Well, peanut butter, depending on how much weight you want to put on, because it is delicious, you can literally sit there with a spoon and eat it. You don't go do that with Vegemite. Just it's in high quantities. It's not poison. Eat enough of it. It's not going to be great because it's very salty. Highest source of vitamin B yeast extract that you can have. I think it's the highest source of vitamin B in the world. Yeah, but it's in moderation. You put a little bit in. It's very potent. So a little goes a long way. Like a tiny bit goes a long way.
That sounds like a lot of work.
So in the proper dosage on buttered toast, if it's that small of an amount, does it even add a flavor, or is it just vitamins and salt?
Oh no, it adds flavor. The thing is, you don't want it at poison levels. You want it, oh, this is delicious. Too much, poison.
Zach, you know what I was telling you about the cheeseburger hot dog? That's what's going to happen times 10.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen to me. I could eat like 3 of those and be fine.
Okay, let's put this in context. I'm going to use the cheeseburger. Oh my god, I can see it. Your viewers just listening to one. Okay, cheeseburger context. Think of a Vegemite. Think of a hamburger. Think of like a well-cooked patty, slice of cheese, bit of tomato, bit of lettuce, nice cooked bun, done. Now add the Vegemite option where, say, you want to overdo it. You want to put too much Vegemite on a piece of toast. Now, in the hamburger scenario, imagine having a really greasy patty, but you have 7 patties, 9 slices of cheese, and like a partially cooked bun. Can you see how that good burger, using the same ingredients, is now horrible and trying to kill you?
I don't know what about that is horrible, because that's heaven to my fat ass.
Yeah, better get that IV line in 1 in 10,000 ready, Vince.
Hell yeah, brother. America. So what you're saying is Diane tried to kill us, is what I'm getting out of this.
How do I word this? Yes.
Oh yeah, because she was just all gung-ho about it. She's like, hee, here you guys go. You got to eat the whole spoon. And then everybody gets a spoon. I'm just like, oh God, here we go. I don't think anybody had a positive reaction to it either.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of giving someone the Vegemite challenge. Is to it's not poison. It's not going to kill you unless you're allergic to salt or you have like hypertension or something. But it's just, what should have happened would have been, hey, get a nice piece of toast, lightly toasted, butter, a little bit of Vegemite. Go, oh, this is delicious, as opposed to eat this poison.
So in Australia, the wildlife tries to kill you, but so does the food. Awesome, great, cool. Sounds like a wonderful place.
Daniel, if I got you a nitro gummy bear, would you do it? Would you eat it? It's very, very tiny. It's like a little bit bigger than your thumbnail.
trust you when you say nitroglycerine or nitro gummy bear. I think it's something that's going to kill me. It's partially maybe illicit, maybe illegal in 7 states, and you're just going to laugh at me. What is it? I need details.
Well, you're partially right. It's not illegal and it's not illicit. It's the world's hottest gummy bear. It's like millions and millions and millions of stowable units.
Ooh, this sounds interesting. Millions as like the ghost pepper one.
Yeah. Except it's a gummy bear, a regular sized gummy bear, and you have to eat it, chew it, and swallow it, and you're supposed to wait like 15 minutes before you drink milk. I've done it. Day 2 is more torturous than day 1.
So when you're crapping it out, it burns you, correct?
I mean, that's putting it lightly.
Okay, can you do like projectile pooing? Is that a thing?
No, it just like incinerates your butthole.
Well, let me think carefully about this. Do I want to incinerate my butthole? No, not today or tomorrow for that matter. But thank you. I appreciate the friendly offer, and I think the chat levels and subscription levels have either gone up highly on Vince's stream or gone down.
You know, Zach, we already tried to kill him with a hot pepper in Canadian Texas in 2022. It didn't work.
You didn't try to kill me. Let's get the story right, Vince. We were there with Hank, you and me. We had a steak in Canadian, a really good steakhouse, and they had this carrot-looking thing. I'm thinking, oh, it's a pepper, but it can't be that bad. Yeah, it was up there. It was mild breathing problems, but I knew I was in good hands.
What was funny is it was partially planned out because Hank was like, oh no, yeah, that's a carrot. I'm like, that's a pepper. And he like took his boot and like kicked me. He's like, shut up.
But I knew it was a pepper, I just didn't know it was a dangerous one. And that was the hottest pepper I've ever had. And I was hiccuping and...
I'll tell you what, I'll bring the gummy bear next year. You bring the Vegemite. And I'll do your spoonful challenge, and you do the gummy bear challenge.
Okay, this is the deal. I'll have the gummy bear, but you need to eat the entire large Vegemite. The entire thing. Which will probably put you in hospital, maybe. I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever tried it.
Let's just stick with a spoonful. I mean, because you're adding quantities that I'm not adding. I'll do the whole tub for 2 gummy bears.
Okay, the deal is a quarter of a gummy bear for 4 spoonfuls of Vegemite.
No. It's 1 gummy bear. We're not. The gummy bear is like it's a regular gummy bear. We're not dividing the gummy bear. It's 1 gummy bear to a spoonful of it. I'll even do a tablespoon versus a teaspoon.
Stop. You both need an unbiased person to referee this. Just stop. 3 tablespoons, not teaspoons, 3 tablespoons of veggie hell for 1/2 gummy bear would be a fair bet.
I actually agree with Vince, but I just really don't want to projectile poo. It's just like there's chasing to be had, and how do I explain? Oh, sorry, we missed the pretty storm because I had to eat a gummy bear. I mean, how do I explain that to people? I'm a professional. I know when to do my risk assessments, and I think what should happen here is just a regular gummy bear as a gift of welcome, if you will, to the country. Vince and Zach have just a regular, normal Australian type serving of Vegemite with butter to enjoy it as it should be, and we chase and make sure our viewers enjoy the streams without us feeling like we're being poisoned or dying. How's that for a negotiation?
I will agree to that on one condition.
What?
There is one nitro gummy bear in a Ziploc bag of 30 regular gummy bears, and you choose your own fate while I eat the Vegemite.
I don't trust you. Not happening.
It's like Russian roulette with 6 bullets.
It's Zach. There'll be 29 nitro gummy bears and 1 real one.
No, I can't afford that. They're too expensive.
Yeah, you don't want to underestimate him, Daniel. He is a little shit starter. He put stickers all over my office that say, "I pooped today," and throws his garbage in my car, but doesn't just throw it in my car, he hides it, so I don't find it until like a month later, and I'm like, oh, where did this can of Red Bull come from? I don't drink Red Bull. Oh, that must be Zach. I go to open my hood yesterday. Sorry, the bonnet. I go to open my bonnet yesterday, and I went, huh, that's weird. I don't drink that flavor of energy drink. I wonder where that can came from. Oh, that must be Zach.
Right. And you want me to trust you with a nitro gummy bear that projectile poos? Yep, not happening.
Alright, I'll bring 3 nitro gummy bears and we will all 3 do it, and then we'll all 3 enjoy the Vegemite immediately afterwards.
Still don't trust you.
Honestly, the Vegemite might cancel out the spiciness because it's kind of like thick and tarry and like absorbent. I actually think that might like solve the problem. Like, you know, it's like balancing out an acid with a base. It's like putting baking soda like on battery acid. You know, we might be onto something here.
Okay, listen to me both very, very carefully. Now, I'm not an explosives expert. The term nitro typically represents something which is going to go kaboom. Now, it's like saying to an explosives ordnance person going, oh, just put a bit of nitro there, it should be okay. Yeah, no, nitro, kaboom.
It'll definitely raise your core temperature.
We should like get this cleared through a doctor before we start doing this. I feel like we're about to make some sort of like, you know, if you put like Windex and what is it? Windex and like Pledge or something, like if they mix, then you get like a toxic gas. Like I feel like we're about to make some sort of toxic substance here by mixing these random, like, dangerous foods together.
Oh God, I did that once trying to clean something up. I used like Clorox. It was water, Clorox, and I forgot what the third thing. Some kind of like, maybe it was Pine Sol. I think it was water, Clorox, and Pine Sol. And I created like mustard gas in the house. It was horrendous.
Ladies and gentlemen of the stream, for those who have kids wanting to leave school a little earlier than usual, this is your reason why you shouldn't. Stay in school, boys and girls.
Daniel, you need to start a podcast. Just reacting to stuff like this. Like, like a 1-hour weekly podcast. Do it live, and then have people like give you a topic, and it has to be dumb, and then you just have to react to it, because somehow you find a way to do it every time. Like, you know, next week's topic could be, I don't know, you know, why we're not mixing nuclear gummy bears with Clorox. And somehow you could drag that out for an hour. There would be millions of viewers, and you would like have a sponsorship from somebody. Maybe not from Clorox, and maybe not from like the nuclear gummy bear, but like Pepsi or Coke would probably be like, hey, we want to sponsor you to analyze what happens when you put Vegemite on your Coke or something. I don't know. I mean, this could be a thing. You know, you've got, you know, Storm Chaser, Daniel Shaw on Severe Weather Australia or whatever. Well, now you're going to have baddecisionaustralia.com.au. I don't know.
See, it's one thing I've never tried. I've never put Vegemite on cocaine. I've never tried cocaine. But I hear it's fun. Zach, care to confirm?
How did we get from Coca-Cola to cocaine?
He's Australian. Give him a break.
He said coke. Not cocaine. I don't know. I've seen people do. Remember, I used to work in the nightclub industry. I never did anything even remotely illicit. The most interesting thing ever offered to me was the guy came up to me 1 o'clock in the morning and goes, man, I've told the story before, goes, man, you want some super glue? And I just said, thank you, but I have nothing. I have to stick together. I still think to this day, that person still has a confused look on their face. This is a true story.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Like, I think soap is some sort of a drug. I had a guy in Nebraska the other day, comes up to me in the middle of nowhere, parks right on my bumper, and gets out and comes walking up to me, and he goes, hey, do you got any soap? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? He goes, do you have any soap? I was like, no, sir, I'm sorry, I don't have any soap. I can't really help you, I'm sorry. And then he's like, oh, I got a leak in my gas tank. And then he turns around, walks away, and leaves. I thought he was asking for drugs.
I really should try speed one day. I think it might slow me down and calm me.
Maybe you should give the RAV cocaine or something. I mean, it's not illegal if the car does it, right? Like, have you tried feeding the car Vegemite?
Right now, honestly, Zach's not driving right now, is he? Because right now, I think he's swerving across like 4 lanes.
Yeah, Zach's driving.
And for the record,
Hello?
don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay. Now give me a soldering iron and it's all party time.
I like the liquid flux. It smokes more when you touch it. I don't like the paste. In all seriousness, I don't purposefully sniff the solder smoke, but I found this like liquid flux that makes like purple looking smoke, and it's just kind of cool. Like, I don't sniff it. Obviously, well ventilated area, safety third, but it's kind of cool looking. So that's why I buy that flux, because it makes a purple color smoke. I don't know if it's intentional or not. Hopefully it's not like super toxic. It's probably like nuclear radioactive flux.
Nitro flux.
Oh my God, help us.
Now, a minute ago, you were talking about having a party if you had a soldering iron. But right before that, you led that with you didn't have anything you needed to stick together.
And I said before that I should try speed. It might calm me down and make me sleepy.
You would definitely get more work done.
We should do an info commercial on speed. Are you feeling tired? Need that pick-me-up? Speed. 29.95. Postage and handling. If you need low energy, speed. See, special weapon marketing.
Mary 1147 goes back on a 711 second floor on the 56.1 free on the Platteville. There's a blue 8.
Hello?
Truck bag.
I'm sure that there's already storm chasers out there that are committed to that.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why you're not dealing Vegemite. I mean, you talk about you want to market stuff. I mean, that stuff's basically toxic and poisonous. It's probably classified as a drug in this country. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That I honestly thought that you put rat poison in that stuff before I tasted it. It was so bad. Like, you should just be handing that out to everybody.
I did. I dropped some off to Cole, and I had some for, yeah, I bought 3 jars of it. I declared it. Customers thought it was funny.
Oh my god. So has Cole quit being your mechanic now? Because if you brought me a jar of Vegemite and I was your mechanic, I'd probably be like, well, that was your last favor.
No, I think he loves it. I couldn't do more than he did. Cole is an honorary Australian. You know, he was a technical advisor for the Master Techs out of Toyota America. He was actually phone support for the Master Techs. Best Master Tech in the country as far as I'm concerned. He loves the car, and Angel, just incredible. That's what he was talking to the trainee Master Tech in Brandon, Toyota in Canada, to work out how to best manage the engine with seafoam treatment and stuff like that with their plan. It was just, my God, incredible.
You know, Daniel, you're going to have to pull the trigger, because by the time you come back next year, we're all going to be in different cars.
Oh no. I'm going to make him cry.
This Rav's gone forever.
I hope you're right, because I feel like that Rav's not going to make it back to California.
Ooh.
Listen to it. 4,000 RPM, going up the hill. Oh, smoke. Just kidding.
Those are like fighting words, Zach. Ouch. You're going to have to apologize to that car. It does have feelings.
Yeah, apologize. It's listening.
I will apologize. Please don't puke your coolant out all over the road again.
Apology not accepted. To go to hell.
I miss Hank's little Rav. Like, it was kind of cute. Like, that thing was, he said it was ugly, and it was. Those Ravs were ugly those years, and they were ugly, but it was so ugly that it was like, you looked forward to seeing it. I mean, the new one's okay, but those new ones just don't have the same personality. Like, they don't wink at you like the old ones did.
This series of Rav, I've got the same one at home, 2012 version, but it's really identical. One of the best built chassis cars. I mean, you've seen what this has gone through. My God, the potholes, the semi-trailer, the pits. I mean, I've got an airborne over a tree in Mississippi. 3 of the cars like screamed off the road, and this car was fine. No airbag deployment. It just still the same alignment parts.
Airbag deployment for going over a pothole? I don't think that.
And still going perfectly fine, driving beautifully.
Daniel loves his car more than he loves anything.
How many times has that Rav seen the back of a tow truck? Just out of curiosity.
Have a guess.
I don't know if I can count that high.
One. Just once. And it was just a precaution because the coolant was leaking.
So this year is the first year that it's seen a tow truck.
Yes, and technically it wasn't needed. But what we did was fill up the coolant. But we erred on the side of caution, and that's the only reason why we towed it.
I'm very impressed.
Well, the thing is, though, too, is Daniel actually takes care of his car. A lot of people just drive them and then they break and they wonder what happened, but you got somebody who actually fixes it when it's broke. I think that says a lot, but I mean, there's a first for everything. I mean, now it can say that it got a ride on a tow truck. I mean, it was probably happy. It's probably fun. You know, I'm sure that thing just was waiting for that.
Yeah, you got to take care of your stuff. Speaking of taking care of your stuff, I just passed a boat on the highway that was not on a trailer.
Was it stationary?
Very much so.
Okay, technical question. Was there a lake to the right-hand side of you, or left, for that matter? Was the boat in the water?
The boat was not on the water. In fact, there was no water to be seen. The boat was on the road.
Like in the middle of the road, like it has obstruction, or just on the right?
Like somebody had pushed it off the road onto the shoulder and left it. There was no vehicles around it. There was no trailer. It was just a lonesome boat.
I know what happened. The axle or tire, if something went wrong with the trailer, the best thing I could do was put the boat safely on the ground, minimize damage, get another trailer, and just put the boat back on the trailer.
No, Daniel,
It's
they
just
were
the trailer
probably
broke
cracked.
down.
They were probably
Safest place for it.
crackheads. I'm gonna vote for they were probably just crackheads.
Well, I guess it's technically been a motor vehicle accident.
When you say a boat, like a big boat or like a canoe?
Oh no, this was a motorized fishing boat. I mean, it was a normal size, regular metal boat with a big Mercury on the back.
Wish you guys were heading north to Minnesota. Please head north.
I've driven 13 hours, and I have 3 more to go. I can't.
Well, if you take that boat you just found and put it in the Mississippi River, you wouldn't even have to drive. It'd be an adventure. Why don't you just go push it the rest of the... Throw it in the back of your truck, go throw it in the river, and you can pick me up like somewhere and we can just boat to the tornado.
We should do that in Lake Michigan one day. Like, just get a high boat, one of those like high speed boats, and just chase a storm across Lake Michigan. How cool would that be?
I actually think it'd be a great idea because we get these big squall lines that come and then they just go right across the lake and they don't move that fast and they end up in Michigan. I mean, you absolutely can do that. Just get over in Milwaukee or something and motorboat all the way across the lake.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I took a boat in the North Atlantic to chase a storm to see an iceberg. Goes up in Dramamine, like lots. Not to like lethal weather, just enough where you still feel ill and you want to die, but you don't throw up. It's fine.
Zach, you still got your Water Wings life jacket and whitewater helmet? Sounds like we're all set.
Well, let's get Zach some floaties. You know, those things you put around children's arms, and he just floats. If he passes out in the water, he'll be fine.
Oh, I've already got my floaties, dude. I've got my Coast Guard approved life jacket, my helmet, and my throw rope.
You know, I am a very bad friend to make fun of you for that crap because I probably would do the same thing. And I want you to know that I apologize for being a bully. However, I still find it funny, and so I'm going to keep making fun of it. And I give you permission for my next traumatizing event that you can make fun of me for it, for whatever you want. You get a free pass.
Oh, it's okay. I'll make fun of myself for it. Even when I had it in my patrol car, they would be like, "Why do you have a life jacket in your police car?" It's like, well, because one day I needed one, and I will never not need one again.
We have a little river thing behind the house, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit because I'm afraid it's just going to like fill up. It's like 10 feet down. Like, there's no way it would ever flood, but I'm not going to lie. I don't do floods or any of that crap. And when I saw that back there when we moved in, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Freaking start building the ark.
In my experience, 10 feet is not enough. It's, I would just have to show you for you to be able to believe it.
10 feet long is pretty long, dude. Like, how do you manage that?
Well, I have a creek stream behind my house that's every bit of 20 to 25 feet down. And you can walk down there and swim. It's deep enough to swim in and walk back up. But it's also about 100 yards away from where my house was. And it washed my house and my storm chasing taco away.
Yeah, Vince, I think that went over Zach's head there, but I think you knew what I was doing.
Jesus Christ. The one I gave you was only like 3/4 of an inch, but shoot. Yeah, to be fair, no, I know what the 10 feet will do because that night before that was the night that I was in Kentucky and freaking Brandon was there and he goes, hey, do you hear an airplane? And I was like, no. And he's like, I hear an airplane. And I'm just like, hold on a minute. And I went and got a flashlight and I looked over at the freaking raging river. I was like, no, man, that's not an airplane. That's just 20 houses floating down this river and we're going to die if we don't move.
Yeah. That poor Tahoe never, ever got to make its storm chase debut. It didn't. It never got to see its first storm chase, and a storm killed it.
Vince, I reckon Zach will get the joke when I fly out.
No, I already got it. I just ignored it.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, that whole flooding event was nuts. I tell you what, I mean, because we had, well, basically what happened to you, but you know, between the, like in this mountain valley and just everything was just floating down the damn river. Well, it wasn't a river, but it was now. And like we had to walk through it to try to like help these people because there was this guy like floating on top of a refrigerator. And then Brandon Clement shows up, and Ryan Hall was there in his Chevy Equinox. Well, Brandon Clement had rented a Chevy Equinox, and he shows up and he's like, hey, what do you need for help? And he's like, gonna help us. And I was like, well, hey, you know, they're telling me that, you know, they need some help down the road or whatever. So he takes off to go down the road, but he jumps in Ryan's car thinking it was his. And Ryan comes running down the road. Somebody just stole my car. And I'm like, oh, whatever. He's like, no, somebody just carjacked me. I'm like, no way. And a couple of minutes later, Brandon Clement comes back in with Ryan's car. And he goes, you know, this isn't my car. And I should have noticed it when there was a car seat in the back. Empty, obviously. But he's like, it doesn't smell like my rental. And he gets in the wrong car and takes off with the wrong car.
I'm sorry, Brandon Clement technically stole Ryan Hall's car. I just didn't realize. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, and he comes back and he gets out and he just kind of had this look on his face and he's like, well, I should have known because it doesn't smell like my rental.
That story before. That's funny.
He felt really bad too. He was like, I had no idea. And they were identical cars, exactly the same, and they were parked right next to each other. So it's like, you know, I would have done the same thing. So moral of the story, lock your car when there's other storm chasers around in case they have the same car as you and mistake their car. I mean, you probably don't have that problem, but I'm sure that's not the first, and I'm sure it's not the last time that's happened, especially with these rental cars, because everybody's driving the same rental car these days. Like, they're all those silver Jeeps. Like if I had a rental car and I wouldn't know which one was mine.
I've seen police officers do it, but when we all had Crown Vics, like they drive down the road and then they're like, this console's not set up when it was, and then they bring it back and they're all confused.
Yeah, but the government owns.
I mean, technically they are stealing somebody else's police car, but yes, you're correct.
Battery very low.
Battery very low. Folks, I'm
Battery
just...
very low.
Those videos you see on YouTube where the offender jumps in they're just showing the police car because they've stolen the police car, and you can hear everything that's happening on the where they go.
People, I'm probably going to have to get out of here because I'm about back.
They put the dash cam off the offender.
But a couple of things to remember. Daniel's going to be live up there tomorrow. You need to watch Daniel's live stream. I will share it when he schedules it. The GoFundMe's open. I appreciate the folks that have helped us get to almost 10% of the goal so far. Super Chatters, PayPal, all you guys, I really do appreciate it. I'm about to go into a dead zone. That's why I'm trying to rush through this, because this is a horrible dead zone and the Starlink's not working very good because of the rain. Today kind of crapped out on us. Sorry, but when I scheduled the live stream, there was many warnings. When I started the live stream, they all died. I don't know what to tell you. We got stuffed.
Waiting.
Okay, because it's quite genius what I'm about to. This would be my statement if I was driving a police car and it got stolen.
We gotta hear this though. This is important, I think.
Incident report, 14th of the 10th, 1998, from Daniel Shaw. First paragraph. Sorry. Full stop.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's it.
I appreciate you guys for enjoying our conversation here, because it gets pretty interesting at times. Especially with these two. But sorry to bail out on you guys, but we tried. I mean, I thought we were going to get a bonus chase there, but it just kind of crapped its pants. But we are going to be back live later tomorrow as well. So go to the website, wxeye.org, projectweathereye.com, download the app, download Radar Omega, check it out, let us know what you think. I will see you guys tomorrow.